everybody, and welcome. It's a wonderful evening here in the East Coast, outside of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, in a nice little suburb called Scarborough. And we're here again for another JAS special edition. This is going to be solely about horror films, and we appreciate any information you provide in the chat. No, there won't be a panel per se, but who knows? That might change. I don't know. Suzanne and I have watched a lot of horror films, and I was going to do this Friday before Gorilla Stream, but I realized that we've got two pretty decent films we're going to go see tomorrow and Friday. We're going to go see Fantastic Four First Steps on Thursday, and then on Friday we're going to go see Together, which is supposed to be a really good psychological horror film. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme? No. Yeah, that's in England. Yeah, lemon pie. Hey, Sir Lemon. Yeah, no, but welcome, and welcome, sir. Please maintain the chat tonight. I have a feeling some people are going to try to sneak in here and give me crap. So, yeah. Hopefully, Resolute Germ's live stream is done. I don't want to step on his toes. I don't care about the other person that basically told me to F myself and my wife, but whatever. Hello there, sir. Yep, good to see you. Okay, so really, like I said, because Friday, because Friday is controversial, right? It's Gorilla's, I think it's his penultimate episode, but there are more after that, which I'm sure are going to be probably much worse. But on this one, it's called The Firestorm, season 5, episode 5 of the Waltons. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. And a guy named Teabag wants to join. He's never joined before. He has not been there with us before, and yet he wants to join. Yes, I did say teabag. It's a harmless word. So, all I know is if that teabag shows up, I won't be there. I'm just saying, I will not ever again share a panel with teabag. Teabag is a dumb shit. Excuse my language, but he is. And you love to drop F-bombs on me, okay? I understand that, okay? You have every right to call me whatever the F you want. But when you involve my wife, you better pray for deliverance, my friend, my enemy. Yeah, purely. But anyway, I'm getting off the subject. So let's get back to what we are going to talk about, which is the horror films. Have they gotten better or worse lately? Now, for me and Suzanne, the jury's still out. I mean, there have been some great horror films recently. Well, look, for example, at Final Destination Bloodlines. I think that was awesome. We both did. I mean, we figured it closed the entire franchise perfectly. It was great. In a way, you could call Jurassic World Rebirth a pretty good horror / action, and it finished the franchise perfectly. The boat goes off in the sunset. Spoilers. Yeah. But I mean, there were some great endings. And before we get into some discussion about this, yeah. Oh, yo. Hello, Charlotte Nightstar, the werewolf, our adopted daughter there in Washington State. How are you, Charlotte? Good to see you, hon. And Lemon says hello to Charlotte. And Lemon says, only 2 people always get my references. You are one of them. Well, thank you. That honors me. If I can get your reference, Sir Lemon, that definitely honors me. So thank you. Let's see. I released a good 3 songs, about to release a 4th on my channel. That is awesome, Charlotte. We are looking forward to that, to listening to that this weekend. Yeah, we're going to take a couple of days off, Thursday and Fridays. Hopefully, be back, for Gorilla's thing, whatever he does on Thursday night and then Friday night, with the Twilight's on Thursday and Walton's on Friday. But in the meantime, we're going to enjoy, I think, two pretty good films. Well, at least one, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about the Marvel one, but I know the Together, Suzanne and I both, a psychological horror film of where people trade bodies. Yeah, that one looked really good, actually. Really scary. Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Charlotte says, I'm doing good so far, Mikey. Oh, that's awesome, Charlotte. That's totally cool. I'm glad you are. I hope your mom and dad are doing well as doing good as well. We both do. Yeah. Always. And she says, hey, Lemon. And Charlotte says, Freakier Friday. You're going to see that. No, 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 no. We're going to see the movie Together. It's called Together. Yeah, it's a really cool psychological horror film. It supposedly involves where a man and woman, they know each other well, but then they start changing their whole, personas. Everything changes and everything goes horrifyingly wrong. So, yeah. And Charlotte says, hope you're doing well too, Mikey and Suzanne. Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're doing all right. Yeah, we're doing just fine. We found out we're going to be able to make a little extra money over the next from here on out because one of our bills has been reduced a little bit. So financially reduced, we're still doing fine. Yeah, we don't have an issue. My parents are all right. Cool. That's good. Yeah, she says never seen the trailer for Together. Yeah, we'll check it out when I can. Yeah, please do because it is insanely. It looks insanely good. I think Suzanne and I might, if it's really, really good, we'll add it to our top list. But I'm going to mention that in a few minutes. And hello, Palin, Mr. Palin. How are you, sir? Good evening. Palin, it's great to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. I do appreciate that. I do want to say, uh, I apologize for this late hour. But as I mentioned, we've got, we're going to take a couple of little bit of little mini holidays for ourselves this coming Thursday and Friday, and enjoy some movies, have some great meals at Chipotle because Chipotle is one of our favorite places now. So we're gonna have some fun. You know, we haven't been able to we don't get out very often during the month, and when we can, that's usually towards the end of the month is when we're able to enjoy each other and sit in a nice theater, you know watch a good movie, have some popcorn, have some drinks. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It is. It's a lot of fun. Get back to something that you enjoyed doing when you were growing up. Suzanne and I loved watching films, and I feel better being in a theater, honestly, with some people, actual people you can interact with. We've had some good interactions though lately. With some of these people, like for as I'll previously say again, for Final Destination Bloodlines, we had people that had seen the first 5 films, and even some people that own the films like we do. We own the first 5. And the 6th one was fantastic, and it finished the franchise perfectly. I thought it did. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm not going to spoil it for you for the end. The end is what you want to see, mostly too, for Bloodlines, really. But watching Tony Todd's final performance as the caretaker, yeah, absolutely. The Undertaker, under caretaker, or whatever you want to call him. You just want to see that. You just want to see his performance, see how well he does. So, yes, horror films, PvP. And PvP, I'll talk to you Thursday night when I see you at Twilight Zone beforehand. Yeah, I have something to let you know. Well, of course, if you had watched if you had rewatched Germ's latest Nerd Roundtable, you'll get what I mean. But anyway, yes, horror films. That's true. Yeah, this is just it's just to let you folks know. Uh, what we feel about certain horror films and stuff like that. We don't even have to quote years because you guys know when these films actually came out right around that time, right around those times, different times. And hi, PvP from Charlotte. Very cool. Palin says, hanging in. Good to see everyone. I'm glad you're doing all right, Palin. I hope everything's going well with you, sir. I know we haven't talked in a while, but thank you for being here, honestly. By the way, folks, we do have 279 family sub members to our channel. We only need 21 more, and we can get to 300. And we can do a true celebration of that. So hopefully you folks will do that for us. Then don't forget, I will have select panelists join me when we start doing in the fall and winter time, when we start doing mystery shows that will examine different little episodes from different types of shows. And also, like I said, our goal right now, well, at least also my goal too, is to finish the 4 current shows that I got, that guys and gals that I give you each week. I was able to bunch it together because we're getting close to the end. So as you know, on Mondays at after 12 noon or right around that time, I'm doing the Red Dwarf and the TOS episodes, and we're already into season 12 almost. Almost. Yeah, I think we are actually. I'll know more on Monday, but next Monday. But yeah, we're going into season 12. I think there's only one more season left of Red Dwarf per se, as IMD background information says. And then TOS, I'm already into season 2. And TOS only had 3 seasons, so I'm already into season 2. I just did a mock time, and on Tuesday afternoon, or I'm sorry, on Monday afternoon, the next episode we're doing is Who Mourns for Adonai, and I know that PvP and I and Sifdan covered that, and which has a sequel, right? Pilgrim of Eternity, which is Star Trek Continues, episode 1 of season 1, right? So that had a continuance. So that was awesome. And if you go to Sifdan's channel and look for that, go ahead and do a rewatch on that, because it was very interesting. Alrighty. And PvP says hello to Charlotte. And PvP says, is this open panel? There are some great horror films. Well, PvP, don't you have to work tomorrow, though? I don't want to keep you up too late, because I don't plan on being here for very long, but, just let me know in the comments, okay? Let me know what you feel. If you do want to come up, I'll let you come up. You can join me. But that would be it. So, yeah. Because really all I planned on doing was just letting people know what we feel about the horror films. We have our top 5 individual films. We have our top 5 updated franchise, horror franchises. And then we'll have like an epilogue at the end. So anyway. Charlotte says, I love the slasher version of Captain Hook. Oh, yeah. Well, you know that Winnie the Pooh did Blood and Honey, right? You guys know that. And then there is a Bambi one. we saw this in a trailer. It's Bambi Revenge or something like that, where Bambi comes back and goes after people, and it's live action, and I think it's hilarious, but it does look actually pretty good, right? Bambi going after and taking people out, babe. That was kind of a funny trailer. Yeah. And I want to mention something about next month. There's they're bringing back, I did mention this before, on August 27th, they're bringing back the Toxic Avenger. Now, here's the thing. Toxic Avenger, in my estimation, is like a horror / action anti-hero type of, movie series, And I saw all 3 Trauma films, when they came out. They're not all good at all, but but they're so bad that they're funny, right, as hell. And this one that's coming out with Peter Dinklage, Kevin Bacon, being a douchebag, and then you've got Elijah Wood, who's going to be a sniper. or something like that. Assassin. I don't know. Can't say the A word very much. I kept it under wrap there, but yeah, but you get the point, right? I mean, it's just kind of. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with this reboot of it. I really am. And if it takes off like Deadpool and Wolverine did, hey, we could start having some sequels. That'd be cool. Yeah, I enjoy that. Yeah. And let's see. Forgive me that I'm not really catching up on the chat here. I am trying. I know what you did last summer. I meant. Oh yeah. The reboot. I've heard that already. Yeah. I like the original actually. Yeah, 280 actually. True. Oh, 280? Oh, yay. Cool. So we're only 20 away, babe. Mwah. That is awesome. Sir Lemon says PvP, yo. And he says hi to Lemon. Okay. And let's see. Yeah, the Killer Bambi is amazing. I know, right? I've seen that trailer. We've seen that trailer, Suzanne and I. Yeah, we've seen it. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, they did pretty good with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Like I said, that was great. I wouldn't mind seeing this. Yeah, Bambi. Yeah, definitely. Wait, which weird horror film I haven't seen yet? Cocaine Bear. I have not seen that yet. I thought it would be hilarious, but with the drugs and everything like that, and the loosely based on a true story. But I haven't seen that yet. I'm curious to see how that turns out. Hopefully, YouTube will just put it out there as a free movie, and that's what I hope for. Because I've been, I don't go to a store anymore. We don't go to Walmart. Well, except for basic groceries, but we don't go there for movies anymore. They gave that up. They just decided to leave Blu-rays and maybe 4K stuff, and we don't have a system for that. For the Blu-rays we do, but not for 4K. So yeah, kind of weird. Anyway, yeah, it's 7 p.m. here. I don't work until noon tomorrow, so I have lots of time to hang out. Okay, well, PvP, if you'll do me a favor, just kind of wait for a couple minutes. We're just going to go over what we like as top 5 movies, top 5 franchises. I'm going to go very quick. Believe me, I'm not going to try to stick too much time with those lists. Okay? And then when I get a chance, I will send you a message to you on Facebook, and then we can talk about that. That'd be cool. And Charlotte, too. I'll send you one. Because I know you're a big horror fan, Charlotte. So I would definitely send you one, too. Okay. Have you seen Bambi versus Godzilla? No. No, I thought that was an animated one, wasn't it? No, I have not seen that. No. We were just talking about this live-action Killer Bambi thing that was coming out. Like in the vein of the Killer Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of looks good. Palin says Cocaine Bear looked like a fun time. I heard that, but didn't his heart explode in the real story? I guess the real true story. Bear got infected, then his heart exploded or something, and I don't know the whole thing. No worries. Okay, yeah, and yes, animated and hilarious. I seem to recall it. Bambi versus Godzilla. I don't know. It's way back in here somewhere. And the subconscious, it's like way back, My wife is the horror master. She loves horror films. I'm starting to learn more and more each day that my beautiful wife knows what she's talking about when it comes to horror. Horror is true horror when you can enjoy certain movies and the jump scares are legitimate. That's the thing. If you don't have a legitimate jump scare, you failed me. Okay, you already failed me. That's my own opinion. But I think that Suzanne kind of similarly knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, she probably follows the same pattern I do on that. Yeah, it's epic. If it weren't for Elizabeth Banks, it wouldn't exist. Well, Charlotte, I hate to say it, but Elizabeth Banks almost killed the when she did that reboot of Charlie's Angels with Kristen Stewart. Yikes. Yeah. Elizabeth Banks. That's hard for me to swallow. Yeah. But okay, but maybe she had a good moment with Cocaine Bear. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right, Charlotte. If she wasn't in there, it probably would suck, right? So, yeah. Yeah, actually, it's Bambi meets Godzilla. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah, Charlotte's is sad, unfortunately. True. True. Yeah. Because I love the original Charlie's Angels, right? Just kind of going off the track here, just briefly. I really enjoyed the TV series. Had no problems with it. Okay. The first one, all right. Drew Barrymore, Lucy Liu, Cameron Diaz. Okay. And you had Bill Murray as Bosley. Okay. Didn't have an issue with that. Honestly, I didn't. I mean, it's okay. It's not great, but I mean, it's okay. But then, I mean, then you do the sequel, Full Throttle, and and it like went off the rails and went, and Demi Moore scared the crap out of me. You know, why did I even watch this film? I don't know. Demi Moore, why? And then when I found out that they were rebooting it again, and here was Elizabeth Banks, being the head of this girl power thing, with Kristen Stewart and the rest, and it's Charlie's Angels. I'm like, no, 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 no. That's not Charlie's Angels. No, I'm sorry. No. But again, I digress. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, well, she produced Charlie's Angels. She was in the movie too, though, Charlotte. She was in. She was in there. She produced it and starred in it. I don't know if she directed it. I don't really care who directed it, but yeah. Oh, I got the name wrong. Hey, come on, PvP. Don't worry about that. That's less of a hassle. Don't even worry. Okay, so we got 3 people still watching. Thank you so much. Okay, so in real brief order, in no particular order, here is our top 5 horror films of all time. You can talk about this with us later here in the chat. I'll get PvP up here and Charlotte if possible, and we can talk about it too. Let's see. Okay, so the first one is The Cabin in the Woods. Great Drew Goddard, Joss Whedon masterpiece. I mean, it's our all-time favorite. We love it. We own it. So I mean, it's more than likely if we're telling you these are our top 5 of everything, we own them. We own the films. Yeah. So that is I'm sorry, it's a great film. Now the one thing I have one issue, okay, with that movie, and I'll let you know that real quick. The one issue I had was with the hawk. Okay? And the hawk is flying, and just as the RV van gets into the tunnel, the hawk hits the electrified invisible fence. And it just kind of ruined it for me because then later on, right, Hemsworth goes on a freaking motorcycle like he's going to jump the damn thing and goes right into it. So that was already ruined. I mean, I didn't think he was going to pull that crap, and die, but he did. Spoiler alert, in case you haven't seen that. But, I mean, it was wow. And at the very end, I won't ruin it for you, but believe me, the world does not survive this. So, and I mean the entire world. So, you can go with what you want on that. Okay. The next one is Don't Blink. Now, here's a really interesting concept. Now, Zach Ward, who's in it, and a couple other people, Mina Savari, I think she does a great job in that. Brian Austin Green, yeah, my jury is still out on Brian. Okay, on. Did you know that if you put Brian Austin Green's name together with just his 3 initials, it's bag? Yeah, he's a mixed bag. I'm just saying, okay? I don't hate the man, but when it comes to certain films, I'm just like, whoa, okay. Do you really belong in this one? Bag. Mixed bag. I don't know. Anyway, but it also features Robert Picardo near the end as MIB. It's hilarious. It is. It is. But it's a great film. Everybody's starting to disappear. That just gives you an idea. Like they're in a high mountain resort in Colorado somewhere, and everybody's starting to disappear. that means don't blink or you disappear. It is really a great psychological horror film. Like, and it keeps you guessing at every point. There's this one guy that disappears. I'll just mention this one other scene. There's one guy that disappears, but then he comes back. Now, was he an alien? Was he something to distract the others from what's happening around them? I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, but it's a great horror film nonetheless, and we love it. So, oh yeah, right. No, I meant Cocaine Bear. My bad. Oh, no worries, honey. No worries. Bambi versus Gorilla. Now, come on. You know, Gorilla is a redneck, but he's our redneck. You know, he's our brother. You know, Silverback. He would take out Bambi in a heartbeat. Come on, Bambi wouldn't even have a chance with Gorilla. Let's just say Gorilla is a good hunter. Okay, he may be even a better fisherman. I don't know. He doesn't like to really, you know, he kind of likes to keep that on the down low, you know, on the QT. But, you know, we'll see. And I bet if I'm starting to talk about Gorilla, he's going to show. So, or he's just going to fall asleep. I don't know. I'd watch that, Lemon. Yeah, I would too. I would too. Okay. Number 3 in our list is, well, like I said, no particular order, so I won't even say number 3. Sorry. Next on our list is Violent Night. Now, this has to be, between Suzanne and I, this has to be one of the best horror Christmas films we've ever seen. Okay? Santa Claus goes psychotic. All right? I can't stress enough how much that means to me. And it comes from a Viking, you know, lineage. That makes total sense. I'm not sure why. Don't get me wrong. You know, we know that Santa Claus is named after Saint Nicholas, right? Who was nice to kids, gave out stuff. But did we ever know what his true background was as far as his lineage, his heritage? We never really did. For all we knew, Saint Nicholas was, you know, either one of those Germanic. It's said either way. Germanic ancestors who, you know, might have been a priest. Who knows? You know, and he did wonderful things for kids. You know, gave them, you know, treats and stuff. But if you were a bad boy or a girl, you didn't get anything. You know, and sometimes you got a bit of coal, right? Like little coal thing. So really, what Violent Night does is it shows maybe a more true side of Santa Claus, still being generous, right? Still being cool, being kind, whatever. But when you piss him off, he can defend himself. He can take back Christmas from terrorists. And in this case, the terrorists are led by John Leguizamo. That's insane. And I mean, Leguizamo has been in so many films. I loved him in John Wick, okay? He was in a couple of the John Wick films. Loved him in that. You know, he's also been in, you know, Luigi and Mario and Luigi, you know, the brothers, you know, and yeah, I mean, so, you know, Leguizamo's great. And I think, you know, and David Harbour, right? The Canadian, hello, you know, who plays Claus, is just fantastic. He is. And I want a sequel. That's the thing. Suzanne and I want a sequel. We want a sequel to Violent Night. We definitely do. Because you know what? I want him to take on Krampus. Yeah. If you guys know who Krampus is, okay, from past, you know, movies or experience, I give you thumbs up then. I give you a gold star if you know who Krampus is. Yeah. I would love to see a David Harbour Santa Claus from Violent Night in a sequel to take on Krampus. That would be fantastic. Both of us would pay to see that. That'd be awesome. Okay. And yeah, PvP says they should have given Santa a gun. Yeah. and shot coal. Yeah, right? That would have been cool. Boy, PvP, you and I do think alike. That's pretty scary. Yeah, if he had a coal shooting gun, sure, why not? Yeah, I'd love that too. Oh yeah, Palin, yes, yes. Claus versus Krampus, Violent Night 2. Yeah. Or just kind of switch that and go Violent Night 2, Claus versus Krampus. Oh yeah, I'd go see that. Any hints out there, you guys that made Violent Night? Any hints out there I'm giving you? If you watch these things on YouTube, there's your answer right there. That's what you need to do for your sequel. And it will succeed. And it'll be a great Christmas classic over time. It will. It will. It will sell. Okay. This is my little required thing. So let me show this to you folks, okay, real quick. This is what I'm required to show off. Just a moment here. I'm going to read what Palin says. So did you hear about the new Predator movie? I think it is in the Alien versus Predator universe. Well, maybe Santa versus Krampus would sort of be like that. Ideally. Yes. Yes, it would. Because Krampus, for all intents and purposes, and, she and I, we've seen Krampus. We've seen the Krampus films in their own, entirety. But Krampus is the Anti-Claus, right? And they're supposed to be related distantly, somehow. And like I said, I think it would be a great idea to have them match off against each other if you want to do that sequel to Violent Night. I think it would be great. And hopefully there's some smart people that came up with that idea, hopefully. Anyway, I did want to quote here, that if you're new to streaming, if you want to join StreamYard, or if you're looking to level up from your current, free plan of StreamYard, check out the StreamYard link there. And when you do, you get a $10 discount. Now, it may not seem kind of fair, but actually, if you do get, you will get $10 off if I recommend this to you. And then what it does is it's a win-win, because it also helps us out here at Mikey Sue's 4. We would get $25 off our bill, because we do have the very first plan that allows for up to 10 people on a panel, has some extra features I can use. It's cool. It's cool. So it does, and I know. And a lot of people think it's really expensive. I get that. I totally do. Some people pay $300 a year, for a whole year for this thing. And I get that too, But over time, StreamYard's going to raise their prices again. I'm pretty sure they will. And sorry, StreamYard, but it's being the honest truth here. And when they do, maybe $10 might not be so well. Maybe you would need to up it up to $20, and then still give $25 off for the persons that recommend it, like our channel. So I will mention that again when we get to the end here and see what you folks think. I have had some views already on it, on the StreamYard Pal link there. So that's a positive sign. How about a parallel universe story where all the versions of Santa in all Christmas films face off? With AI, it might be possible. That's a good idea. That's a possible scenario there. I do agree with that, PvP. Yeah, multiverse Santa. There you go. Well, I mean, look what's happened with Marvel. Marvel's got a multiverse. Now we know that DCEU has a multiverse. Why not Santa Claus? Why not? I mean, it would make total sense. Sure it would. Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. And Palin says, or one of Santa's other companions from the Santa mythos, Ruprecht included. Oh, Ruprecht, yeah. Though I think he's more of a thing in Germany. Yeah, well, like I said, the basic idea is sound, okay? At least to us. I mean, Santa versus Krampus, Santa versus Ruprecht. Hey, anything like that is possible. It truly is. Let's see. So far, we've got Palin, we've got Charlotte, we've got Lemon, And we got PvP in our chat tonight. That is so amazing. Thank you, all of you. Please, we can't thank you enough. We love you guys. You know, you're all a part of our family. We love you guys. Okay, so let's finish this top 5 list, and then we'll get to the top 5 franchises we agreed on. Okay, so Blink Twice is another one. This just recently came out a few years ago. Zoe Kravitz directed for the very first time. It features Channing Tatum as a real badass form of Jeffrey Epstein. So if you know all about this Jeffrey Epstein crap that's going on with Trump and everything else like that, this movie will make you think, honestly, will make you think twice about joining anybody on a sojourn to an island or a mansion or anything like that. Yeah, this will give you a pause, a deep pause of like, especially if you're a woman, it would be like, no, go away, sorry, no way. Mm-mm. It's very good. It's very good. Suzanne and I really we were on edge. I kid you not. There weren't really jump scares, okay? But it was more of just how Channing's character was manipulating the women there, his buddies, one of them played by Haley Joel Osment. So that's where he's been all these years, acting like a total psycho bag. Okay. And then and then you had you know, well, you're gonna love. I told you that, Charlotte. Your buddy Kyle MacLachlan plays a real devious guy in this movie. Blink Twice. Yeah. Oh, this redefines what he did in Twin Peaks. Oh yeah, he went beyond the Twin Peaks. You know, craziness there and the mystery and everything. Oh yeah, he plays the doctor in this one. The doctor that takes care of the drugging, and you know what I mean from that. So, I mean, yeah, that is a crazy ass movie. But I'm telling you, it means a lot because people need to really watch it to understand it. Blink Twice. Yeah. That's all I'm going to say about that. But, you know. And finally, Suzanne and I both agreed we could make this number 5, these 2 movies, make it like a tie. And we own them also. Of course, Aftershock is a really good psychological horror and drama. It's about these earthquakes that go on in Chile, right? In the area along there in South America. And what happens is it's a huge tsunami. And what happens is there's like a lot of different terrible things that happen in this movie, but the ending is awesome. So look it up. It's called Aftershock. It's one of our favorites. We love it. We love it because of what happens at the very end, too. That's one of the reasons. But I mean, it's just so good. And were you listing your top films? Yeah, our top films. And then we're just going to quickly go over our top 5 franchises, PvP. And yeah, we haven't been here that long. So I'll get you in. I'll get you in. Don't worry. And Charlotte, if you would like to come up too, please let us know. Okay. All right. So the one I shared with Suzanne for number 5 was Freddy versus Jason. I'm sorry. It is probably one of my all-time favorite battle to the death. 2 people already that are in hell. You know, Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger. And I gotta say, it makes me laugh every time I see it. It makes me happy to watch these 2 go at it. You have a great soundtrack, including Slipknot is in the soundtrack. So, you know, even if you've never heard of Slipknot, you're going to love the music that's in it. And of course, it's, you know, it takes 2 real special people after everybody else is gone. It takes 2 really special people, one guy, one gal, to take out both Freddy and Jason. Yeah. And I mean, it's just hilarious. It is. It's total camp. it came out, long time ago. I think it was 2008, 2007, something like that. But um, but in the last 20 years, it really is like, we loved Friday the 13th, franchise, even the stinkers afterwards, down the line, you know. I loved Uber Jason from Jason 10. That personally was one of my favorites, even though some people don't like that one, where it's in outer space. Yeah, it takes on an android. A female one, by the way. Yeah. Anyway, think of that scenario. You know, but then you had besides Jason, you had the nightmare movies, right? I mean, you had Freddy Krueger in your nightmares. And there was actually some kids in real life that said that somebody resembling Krueger, though it could have been a shadow figure or spirit or evil spirit or whatever, a demon, they were thinking of them even after even after the first couple of Nightmare films came out. And even when Wes Craven, before he died, when he did A New Nightmare and brought that back, I mean, right. I mean, so it was just scary. It was. But it's scary fun, right? So that's why, for me, Freddy versus Jason is tied right with Aftershock. Because it's scary fun. What you watch in both movies would really blow your mind. Because it does. I mean, both films do. And that's why they're in the top 5. So, and I'm sorry there, Jeff B. Hail, Mikey, Hello, Jeff B. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Daniel's Hot Topics. Hi, Mikey. How are you tonight? Well, me and Suzanne are doing good, Daniel. It's always good to see you, my friend. And Daniel says, I liked Freddy vs. Jason. I was hoping for a sequel, and they were going to have a sequel with Ash. Yeah, the two of them were going to take on Ash, who did Ash versus Evil Dead. That would have been cool. Yeah, I wish they had. What's funny, Daniel? You and I and PvP and Charlotte and Jeff, everybody here, we have really good ideas. And Palin, too. We have really good ideas. But, we're just a few people. And I realize that these studios don't want to follow, they don't want to think outside the box, right? That's probably the best thing I could say about that. They really don't. But, we all do. And we're coming up with great ideas, and these two people don't know what they're doing. Yeah, it's just that, they're coming up with recycled scripts and recycled ideas. There's no originality, as I said, no originality, no creativity, no imagination. And if you don't have any of that, forget it. Your film's going to fail. Yeah. Then they were talking about another sequel with Michael Myers. That's possible too. Mm-hmm. That was possible as well. Yes. Yeah. You know what? They could have done one with the guy from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They could have done Leatherface. Yeah. They could have went against Leatherface. That would have been cool. I would have liked that. That'd been cool. And let's see. Hi, Daniel from Lemon. And Daniel says, hello, Lemon Pie. And hail, Jeff B. From Lemon. Lemon says, hi, Palin. And you said that twice. Okay. Well, you gave him a double hi. That works. Jeff B says, hail to Sir Lemon. And Lemon, I did not leave you out. I had a good idea. Bambi versus Gorilla. That would have been good. Yes, I agree. No, Sir Lemon, I didn't leave you out. Come on. Lemon says, I also have a great idea for a sequel to Cocaine Bear. Cocaine Jill. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, no, Sir Lemon. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Palin says, hey, Lemon. And hi, Larry. Hey. How's one of my best buds? My longtime friend. How are you, Larry? Hey, Mike. Good to see you, Larry. We're just talking about. We're gonna go over a quick list here of horror franchises that Suzanne and I like. And if Larry, if you're able, I can send you a message too. If you want to join the panel, and I'll send a message to your Facebook if you have a few minutes to spare. That'd be good. let's see. Daniel says there was a sequel idea with Leatherface. However, Leatherface is alive versus one zombie and one demon. So Leatherface would be creamed so fast in seconds. That's probably true. That's probably true, my friend. Let's see. Yeah, Larry. Hey, how you doing? Sir Lemon says. Larry says, Lemon Pie, how are you doing, my friend? Yeah, I hope you're doing good, Larry. Hi, Larry from PvP. Jeff B says, hey, Larry, hope you are doing well. Yes, I hope, Larry, that you and the family are doing well, and send our best hugs and loves to, Diane, your sister, and, of course, Tyler and his family. So, please. And prayers. The prayers are out there for you. Definitely. Sure, I got a few. Okay. And Larry says, hey, baby. And he says, hope you're feeling better to PvP. And Larry says, hey, PvP Mike, when are you planning on doing that? Planning on what there, Larry? Kind of clarify a little bit. I mean, tonight I was going to say, I didn't really plan on a panel, but I can invite you and Charlotte and PvP and even Palin if he wants to come, to talk about horror films in general. Are they getting better or worse? That's the JAS special edition I was thinking about. So, and I didn't really anticipate a panel tonight, but like I said, some of you are interested in horror films. I definitely can have you come up. Like I said, I'll send you a message to your Facebooks. Yeah. So, hey Jeff B, how are you? And Jeff B says, I would like to see Hellraiser IP gets additional films. You know what? She would too, but I am not into Hellraiser. I'm not a big Hellraiser fan. Yeah, you said about the horror thing with the panel. Yeah. Well, as soon as I read off these 5 franchises we like the most, I can go ahead and we can do a panel. We've only, we've been here about an hour, but we can do one more hour. And if you guys and gals want to come up here, gal and guys come up, let me know and I'll send you the link to your Facebook Messenger. Yeah, that'd be fine. Okay. Yeah, Larry. So, yeah, I mean, if you're able to, that's why I just want to make sure you're able to. So, yeah, let me give me a minute. I'm going to open up Facebook here real quick so I can get to that. So, give me a couple moments because I don't know what's going on with it. So, lately it's been jumping around doing some weird crap. So, whoops. Okay, hold on. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Oh. Okay. Sir Lemon says I forgot what they call that box. You mean the cube? That or cube or hey Mike, maybe I can do it next time or maybe you and I can do a one-on-one if that's okay. Still going through a lot, still really tough to talk. Sure, Larry. Hey, you know me. Just message me through Facebook Messenger or if I'm available, give me a call. Please, and yeah, we can get something together. I'm supposed to do actually after August 7th. Chance. His name is Chance Bartels, wants me to do a podcast with him. He wants to talk about the time I spent with the 3 episodes of The Highwayman that I did with you, and also the movie Showdown we did in '93. So, yeah, he wants to talk with me about that. I would definitely invite you too, so you can talk to both of us. But he says he wants to talk to me. I don't know why. I would have invited you too because you were there. You did more than I did. An hour would be good. Okay. Yeah. So in a couple minutes, I'll go ahead and, send you the link and then you folks can, to your Facebook messengers, and then, let me know if you can come up or not. That'd be fine. That sounds good. Okay. Yeah. And lament configuration. Lament configuration. What does that mean, Sir Lemon? Lament configuration. Okay. Now that one I'm not getting. Don't blame me. I'm trying to understand what you said there. Panel's line for me. Panel's fine for me too for a while. All right, Palin. Well, we'll try to get to you there, sir. All right. And jumping around, Mikey has Facebook in a frog mode. I did not put it in a frog mode. What it is that Facebook says you're supposed to back up your chats. And the only way you're able to back up your chats is by inputting a PIN word, or, a PIN, a passcode, okay? I'm not into PIN codes because I know they can be hacked. And if anybody were to hack my PIN code, they could go into my chats and screw with me. And we know who, would want to do that. We know some of the people that are enemies to us and would want to do that. So I'm not taking that chance. But no, I'm not in a frog mode. No. Yeah, that'd be fine. Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you, Larry. Let's see. And Daniel says, have you seen Happy Gilmore 2? No, and I don't care to, Daniel. It doesn't look good to me. I've seen the original, yeah. I've seen Happy Gilmore, but I'm in no mood to see the second one. I think it's going to be a cash grab because Adam Sandler, right? He's coming back. He's probably out of money. He probably lost some funds or something like that, so he needs money. So he decided to take his company and say, oh, let's just do a sequel. Adam Sandler. He's hilarious. Okay. Facebook has never asked me that. Oh, they've asked me though. I'm not sure why. Yeah, they asked for this pin. Okay, it says that I need to fix my chats. Okay, I'm just describing this to you folks in PvP real quick. It asked me to fix my chats, but the only way I can fix my chats is to put in a special pin number. Then I can go back and retrieve other information on my chats. But I just think they're stealing something. I'm sorry, I don't know. Maybe I'm paranoid. That's possible. I've been paranoid before, but I feel like if I give a PIN number, something's going to go wrong. So, and Suzanne is really good with the internet. She knows a lot more than I do. And she told me, no, you don't have to put a PIN number in. Don't do that. I said, no, I'm not going to. I already have my password saved and encrypted, so nobody has to be able to break into our. But of course, there are hackers that can do that anyway. So it's just an issue. I'm sorry, just a private thing. Would the scariest monster be the offspring of an alien xenomorph impregnating Godzilla? Could be, Jeff. I don't know. Daniel says, I have seen the OG Happy Gilmore, and that was good, but do we really need a Happy Gilmore 2? No. They started filming it in summer 2024, 30 years after the OG Happy Gilmore. Right. Why do we need a sequel? The first one was just fine. I'm fine with that. Facebook has a reputation of being untrustworthy. Yes, they do. Okay, let me get to this top 5 list real quick. I'm going to just go through it real fast as much as I can. And then for the next hour, I'll go ahead and select some of the panelists that would like to come up here, and we will talk about horror films in general, if that's all right. Okay. And, oh yes, here we go. Larry has posted his channel. Hey everyone, this is my channel. I'm going to be changing up a little bit with the new surprises, so stay tuned. And there's his Beers of Adventures for YouTube. So I'll check mark that there, Larry, Brother Larry, and we'll review it again before we, end our stream later on. So, okay, so the top 5 franchises. Okay, this is in no particular order. But Suzanne both agree that Saw franchise, all of those movies, fantastic. Even Jigsaw as a part of that. Now, Saw 9, which was Spiral with Chris Rock, Not really the best, okay? But the thing is, we own all the Saw films, okay? Except for the recent one that they did where he was in Mexico and did all this stuff. So, and they brought back Tobin Bell. I love when they bring back Tobin Bell. He's great. I love Tobin Bell's Jigsaw. They also brought back Juliette Lewis, right? And then, and then they brought back Costas Mandalore. So, I mean, that last one we saw was great. That was Saw 10, I believe. And then the other one we like is the Final Destination franchise. We own the first 5 films. We went to see Final Destination Bloodlines, the final film that Tony Todd did as the undertaker, caretaker, whatever, the hospital. And it was great. And it completes the entire franchise. It gives it complete closure. And I love that. So when that movie comes out, that would probably be one of the few we'll get. So we can add it to our, movie list, our movie library. Okay. Next one is the Conjuring franchise. The Nun, all of that stuff that's included. I got to tell you, I really do enjoy Ed and Lorraine Warren's portrayals done by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, respectively. I do. I think that they channeled their inner Warren, if you want to call it that, and I think they did great in every film they did as the Warrens. I really did. I think that their performances stand out from whoever else was in those movies. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Sure. Okay. Next one is Friday the 13th franchise. As you know, Jason Voorhees, good stuff there. And sounds good, my brother. Thank you. And Daniel says, I was so happy when they showed a harvester alien on the Predator ship's trophy room. That means Independence Day is in the same universe as Alien and Predator. Yeah, it's all connected. Well, I thought you knew that. but Daniel did. But Daniel does make a great point. Those universes are in fact all interconnected. They are. Jeff said, I subbed to you, Larry. Couldn't believe I wasn't. I got to say, Jeff, that happens sometimes. And that's why I'm letting you folks know. I'm going to let you know this one little tip. Please make sure that you, every couple of weeks, you don't have to do it every single week or every single day, but every couple of weeks, check on your subscriptions. Make sure that the people that you want to subscribe to, right, and get all notifications, make sure you've done that. Because sometimes, for whatever reason, YouTube takes out your subscription from certain people. And it really is disheartening. It is. Because, I try to make sure, like I do this, every couple of weeks, I look over my subscriptions, make sure they're still there. I can still contact people through YouTube or whatever, or even Facebook. I try to do that. And sometimes it's not there. So, Jeff, I get it. I do get it. And Daniel, hail and good catch. Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. That's much appreciated. Larry says, oh, wow, Jeff, I thought you've been for a long time. Thank you, my brother. Yes, thank you so much, Larry. That's why I'm saying, folks, please make sure you double check, okay, on your subscriptions. Yes, please do. Oh, and remember, here at Mikey Zeus 4, you're welcome at any time. Since you have the blue wrenchy, you're welcome at any time to advertise your channel. And I will review it one last time every time I do before we leave. So, yeah, please make sure that you put your YouTube channel, if you deem it, with the content, whatever, and you want people to subscribe to you, please do. I highly encourage that. I really would like you to do that. So, yeah, please. That does help. It helps the algorithm, too. When you recommend each other, it does help it. It really does. Palin says, the Conjuring franchise has been my favorite, but I really, really want the Crooked Man movies so bad. Me too. I do. Here's a thought, real quick. I have this feeling that Poltergeist, Okay, the Poltergeist franchise, I think that it is interconnected with The Conjuring for whatever reason. I think it is. With the crooked preacher and everything. Oh yeah, I think that those two are definitely linked somehow. Yeah, I do. I thought it over. I mean, it was a lot of years seen all the Poltergeist films. Like I said, we've seen all the Conjuring films. Suzanne and I, and I mean, yeah, I think that they're interconnected. Definitely, The Nun, you name it, all that stuff. Even Exorcist could be connected. Who knows, right? Sure, why not? It would make sense. You got evil spirits, okay? I mean, yeah. It's involved in all ways there. Yeah, let's have a watch party and let's watch 007 Dr. No and then another day, Diamonds Are Forever. We might plan that later on. I think that's what PvP wants to do. When PvP gets his StreamYard going, Daniel, and also his Cosme. And when we get that, yeah, we could go back and watch all the Bond films because, I mean, they're great. Every one of them. I'll even watch No Time to Die again. Of course, I'll be bawling my eyes out, but just saying. Okay. And then finally, of the top 5 franchises, the one we like the most is Nightmare on Elm Street. As you know, Freddy Krueger. Every one of the nightmares was fantastic. And the actress, who started the original one, she is in Hollywood now. She does makeup, she does special effects. Yeah, she's fantastic. The actress that does that. Baby, what was the name of the lady that does that? The one with the special. I just had a brain fart. Okay, well, I can take a look at it here for myself for a minute. And I do have Facebook up, so I'm going to try to get you, ladies and gentlemen, the ones that I said I could get you if you want to come up and talk about horror for about an hour. Okay, so I kept forgetting her name. I don't know why. Okay. Right, Heather Langenkamp. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, so right. So Heather Langenkamp works in Hollywood now. As I said, she does special effects. She works with the makeup artist there at KNB, right, in Hollywood. She does all of that. And she works on a lot of horror films makeup as well. So she's really good, Heather Langenkamp. Yeah. She's awesome. Let me know when you sent it. Okay. All right, PP. Yeah. I don't want to go too long because let's see here. All right. So let's see. Okay, so we're gonna highlight yours, Daniel, about the watch party. I'm gonna send out some of these invites real quick, and then we will get back to the chat. So okay, so let's see. Um, okay, so it does take me just a couple minutes, so please bear in mind with me. No patience, I ask for. Okay. Okay, there you go. And let's go ahead and send one to Brother Larry. There we go. And let's see. Let's send one to Charlotte. And hopefully Charlotte's still there. There we go. There you go, Miss Charlotte. And then, darn it. Palin, crap. Forgot your name again. Hold on. I can find it. Let's see here. Palin. Well, if Gorilla's up, let's see. We could try Gorilla. All right. No, not Alec. Let's see. I think Elijah and them are already asleep. I don't want to bother them. Let's see. Okay. Well, I sent the ones there. Oh, thank you, PvP. Okay. He's got a watch thing there. Okay. All right. So I highlighted Daniel's last. Okay. All right. Coming to the stage, we have our friend and brother over there in wonderful BC. Oh, yeah, Andy. Right. Hold on. Okay. Hold on, guys. Here, let me bring you up there. Hi, PvP. Give me
Hey,
1
Mikey.
second. Hey.
Sure, no worries.
Thank you.
See, this is by the way, this is why you should consider maybe having panels when you do these unexpected nighttime streams, because a lot of us people are just hanging around doing nothing, and we like, hey, you know.
Well, I will do that for future reference. And when we're done tonight, I got to tell you something. I'll tell you something more private afterwards.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah. And Larry, I just sent you one too. Charlotte, I just sent you one. Palin, I just sent you one. So yeah, and yeah. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah. So what do you think of horror films, and what did you think of our list?
Well, I'm not really a big horror guy. I want to say that straight out, to be honest. I it's not my favorite genre. I probably would prefer science fiction over anything else.
Yeah.
I kind of like fantasy. A well done fantasy film can be fun too. I love a good comedy. I love a really well done dramatic film. Because I got a wide range of films I love. Like I even like silent movies, right? So
Of course.
I have to consider all those other genres when I'm thinking about the horror genre. And the horror genre, is not my favorite. I got to be upfront about it. That said, though, I'm not saying that the horror genre is bad, because it does have a lot of classic films, right? So, yeah, I don't know. For me, your list, I haven't seen all the movies on it, so I can't really, totally, give you a fair.
It's okay. It's
I can't give you a fair rating, because probably a lot of those films I have not watched yet. That said, though, a lot of those are slasher flicks, are they not? Like,
well, okay. If you think about, well, let's just go into the franchises. We don't have to go into the films, because I think they speak for themselves.
Yeah, just go through a quick rundown. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. The Saw franchise is very unique, and it was actually Suzanne who introduced me to it for the first time.
Yeah.
And I think that when you imagine, what way would you want to die? If you were faced with the fact that you could survive or you could be knocked off, make your choice. That's how he says it. There's different ways. There's different ways that people got stupid, and thought they could get out of the situation, but then they get killed, right? They get killed in different ways. So it's not just a slasher thing. And in fact, it's not even a slasher thing. Tobin Bell's character, Jigsaw, practically says, I didn't kill them. And he's actually true. It's actually true. All he did was create a situation for them like a instead of it being a safety room, he made up these horror scenarios, horror rooms and things like that, and he gave them the choice. But he did give them the opportunity. Well, this was until he died, and spoilers, and
Okay, but let's try and go
fourth
through it
movie.
Let's try and go through it briefly, or we'll use the hour up, right? So
Sure.
if you don't,
So
mind.
as I said, Saw can't really be considered a slasher film. It's more of a psychological drama. It does have horror because of the way that people get knocked off during all 7 films. So
people aren't sawing their arms off and shit.
Yeah, that's right. And welcome to the stage, our friend Palin Away. How are you, Palin?
Hey there.
Hey, Palin.
Muted.
I still see you muted.
Muted.
Hold on. Let's see if I can unmute him. Oh no, he's got it muted himself. Okay. So he might be working on something real quick. Oh, there you go. Hey, Palin, what's up? Okay. Nope. He might be having some issues. Yeah.
Technical issues. Anyway, maybe. I just wanted to say none of those franchises would really be at the top of my picks. I'll save you the time. We don't really have to go through it over it again because you already mentioned them all, right?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't want to. I mean, I know time is valuable, and I don't want to waste it tonight. So, I just wanted to say, like, when it comes to horror, I have a wide range. I mean, probably one of my favorites is Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, right? I've always talked about that film.
Absolutely. Shining and Dr. Sleep. We own those too.
Well, I haven't seen Sleep. I know I gotta really watch that.
You need to see Sleep, okay?
I know.
I'm telling you, until you understand, I'm just saying, PvP, until you understand the backstory of where Shining came from, you got to see Dr. Sleep. And I'm telling you, Ewan McGregor and Rebecca Ferguson, are fantastic in that film. They really are.
Well, girl had just messaged me the other day that I've already sent him 1,343 suggestions for movies to watch in this town. So I'll have to add that one to the list and piss him off even more.
Dr. Sleep, for sure. Yes. Oh, my God. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing about Dr. Sleep. After it ended, and I'm trying not to spoil it for you.
No spoilers. After it ended, no spoilers.
No spoilers, I promise. But I'm saying that the way it ended could lead to a third and final. And this is just, right now, this is just conjecture. Yeah.
I hope it's good.
It's just conjecture, but it could lead to a third and final because it will take. In the movie, there's this young girl, she's African-American girl, but she has that shining, right?
Right.
It could take from her and move on to a final confrontation, what I'm saying, with all the spirits in the Overlook Hotel there.
Scatman Scruthers' character, oh God, I'm mispronouncing his name.
Scatman Crothers?
Yeah. Awesome actor, by the way.
He's fantastic. He was fantastic.
Of course, he's African American in the original film, right?
Oh, of course, it was. Sure.
So, you think there's any possibility of continuing the plot line that this girl could be his granddaughter?
That's possible.
Would that?
I didn't think about that. You're right. I didn't even think of that.
Now, if they made her the granddaughter of Scatman's character, that would be cool, right?
Yeah.
I would actually think about watching that if they did that.
Yeah. Jay, I sent you something too also. And Charlotte, if you're still here, Miss Charlotte, I sent you as well. Palin, how are you, my friend? Is everything okay with your system there?
I think so. Am I coming through?
You are now.
Yep, you are now.
All right. I heard PvP talking about Scatman's character, which I believe was Halloran, last name. And it's interesting that you bring up Halloran because he factored into the book It's. Not sure about the show or the movie, but he did factor into the book. So he definitely might pop up again with a descendant. I could see that working.
Well, in the second one, in the second one in Dr. Sleep, have you seen it, Palin, by the way?
I have the book Dr. Sleep, and after the first 15 pages, I couldn't continue. It's a good book. It just kind of like went.
Yes,
You know?
No. Let me express something. Okay, Shining, I know, didn't well. Kubrick and Stephen King had a kind of fallen out, right? It didn't kind of like jive with how the book was supposed to go. Kubrick kind of took poetic license, or maybe he just took exaggerated license and went beyond the brief, so to speak. But I can tell you honestly, Doctor Sleep does follow the formula. Like, it follows exactly how the book would come out for you. So if you feel better about seeing the film, then go ahead, please. Go ahead and watch Doctor Sleep. It's not bad. And I mean, and there is that connection. There is another actor, obviously, because, rest in peace, Scatman Crothers died, right? But anyway, the actor that they had to portray him, he comes back as a spirit, right? But he comes back to Ewan McGregor's Danny, who's older now, and he comes back to him and tells him about this special lady, this young African-American girl who's about 9 or 10 years old, who has the shining. And like, they hook up, and oh my gosh, I mean, and Rebecca Ferguson, as I said, she has a fantastic role in Dr. Sleep. She is the villain, but she is a specialized villain. Not like what you would normally consider like a villainous being. She is like the one that wants to eradicate all the shining people from the world. Really wants to. And these are people that have been around for a very long time. So they kind of remind you of like immortals, but they're not really immortals.
Okay. Now,
so I mean, it's really good.
Okay, so if she was going to be the granddaughter, wouldn't she not want to do that because her granddad was a shiner?
Well, the parents that the girl has, her mom is a white female, and her dad is the African American dad. Now, and Palin makes a good point. The African American dad could very well be the grandson of Scatman Crothers' character, and then he passed. Because remember, they said that the shining passes from one to another, but it can skip a generation.
Yeah,
so my best guess.
Yeah.
Right. So my best guess is that it could have skipped the dad and went right to the daughter, right to his daughter.
That would be the great granddaughter of Scatman.
Of Scatman Crothers, correct.
Yeah. Okay, I don't really want to talk much more about it because it's going to ruin it for me because I've already got too much information.
Okay, no, I won't. But let's get to the chat, guys, and then we'll continue the discussion here. So Daniel says, someday when I get an apartment, I got to bring all my video games, all the game systems, and all the 007 VHS and DVDs and video games of 007 is the king of entertainment, Bond and Batman, Michael Keaton. Okay. Yeah, let me know when you sent it. Yeah, I did. Mm-hmm. And Daniel says, Michael Keaton Batman is number 1, Val Kilmer number 2, and I like George Clooney Batman. I love Batman and Robin. It's so cheesy fun. Yeah, it is cheesy. I'll give you that much. Yeah, Jay, we know about the 8.8 magnitude earthquake in Kamchatka Peninsula there in Russia and the 2.3 in Arkansas. Yes.
Yeah, we had tsunami warnings yesterday all along the BC coastline. They were saying,
has anything happened to you yet there, PvP?
Well, I'm 4 hours inland, so I'm safe. But they posted warnings all along the BC coast telling people, stay away from the water. You morons, get
away from those beaches, you dummies.
I actually saw a video today where they posted signage. Like big signs too, like not little signs, but big signs along the highway saying "Stay away from the water."
Okay. Daniel says
I haven't heard of any casualties though.
Yeah. Well, I know. I was at Germs. I briefly popped into Germs chat there. I didn't join the panel because you know who was there, and I'll talk about that later to you behind the scenes. But Anyway,
he shall remain unnamed.
the one who shall remain unnamed, just like the other guy, right? But yeah, Germ didn't say anything that he was threatened either. So I mean, I guess he's far enough away that he can avoid it. He won't have to go through that.
I think you'd have to probably be within like 5 or 10 miles of the beach to really, be in trouble.
Sure. Well, I know Charlotte lives more inland also, so she's definitely avoiding it. Yeah. That's not an issue with her as well.
I'm like, I don't know, I'm like 200 or 300 miles inland. Like, I don't have to worry, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just want to go quickly so we can get back to the subject.
Yeah, let's get back to the topic.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. So Batman the Animated Series, also important, and Sailor Moon. I love that show. Yeah, I had one of my nieces dressed up as Sailor Moon, one of the characters from that. Hi, Jay from Lemon, and howdy to Sir Lemon. And Larry says, hey, brother Jay, I just came in for a little bit to say hi to everybody and to my brother as well. I'm still having a coughing fit, still trying to get over this. Love you, my brother Mike. Love you. I love you too, Larry. Yeah, if you're having a coughing fit, please, get better. Get better. I don't want to force anything.
Yeah, better just to relax and try to get as much sleep. By the way, have you talked to your doctors about like some kind of medication that might control the cough? Because I'm sure there must be medications that might help with that.
He might have something to that. I'm not sure. He says to Jeff B, thank you again, my brother. Truly appreciate it, Mike. I love you. Bye-bye. Take care and have a good night. Have fun on the poll, and thank you, brother Jay, for you as well. And he also says horror movies need to stay more like Supernatural and not about all gore. To the whole movie, that kind of turns me away. Yeah. Well, Conjuring franchise is right in that vein, Larry, of being more like a supernatural threat than being like gory. That's our opinion, about that. But Jay says, I just stopped by to say hello. I've been on the road all day tonight. Oh, today. I'm tired. Okay. Good night then to you there, Jay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, let me take a look here. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Hold on just a sec.
Yeah, I'm not a gore fan either. I agree with Larry there. I'm not a big gore guy.
Right. And Lemon says PvP. Oh, you want to read this PvP?
Oh, geez, Lemon. PvP has thrusted himself onto the panel. Oh my God.
Oh God, Lemon. Oh my gosh. Okay. Larry says, have a good night, brother. Jay prayed for you, my brother. You too, Larry. We pray for you all the time. PvP. Oh, I'm going to read this. PvP,
yeah, you read
like the subgenre of eggnog horror. Okay.
Now that's actually a kind of an interesting idea. I could actually see a movie developed with eggnog horror.
Oh, Larry, this is a good joke. Larry says Dr. Sleep will be perfect one for Gorilla because he'll just zone out and he'll go to sleep but not think about Doctor.
I'm going to have to. I'll have to send a message to Gorilla in the next couple of days.
For Dr. Sleep, yes, yeah. I would. Well, plus he'll like Rebecca Ferguson when she wears. Just saying. Ever seen Dr. Giggles? I haven't actually seen that, but what a title. Dr. Giggles. I've heard of it.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Mike, don't give any spoilers away for PvP because he hasn't seen it. Yeah, I know. Larry and I both loved it. Yeah, it was a great movie. And Suzanne loved it too. We got to see it. So we own it. I mean, we have the film. Hey, Ancient One. Hashtag 10 like hype. How are you? Hello, Mikey Sus 4, PvP, Palin, and everyone in the live chat. Good to see you there, Ancient One. Sir Lemon says hello to Ancient. Also, he says my nearest coast is on the other end of it. Well, Lemon, you're in Texas. Okay, you're way inland. You're not anywhere near ocean. Come on. Palin says, hope you feel better, Larry. Thank you, Palin, for saying that. Hello to you, to Lemon Pie. Let's see. Yeah, they gave me some medication, but it hasn't done a really good job. Okay, Larry. Thank you for welcoming me. No problem, sir. Does Jay have a mystery cough he cannot solve? And is it possibly GERD, also known as acid reflux? Yeah, that's the acronym term right there, Lemon, for, yeah. Oh, is it Larry's cough? No, it's Larry's cough, my friend. Yep. Hashtag 10 like hype. Okay, we're caught up. And I'll mark it. There we go. Okay, so Palin, so let me ask you, is there a particular, sci or not sci-fi, sorry. Is there a particular horror franchise that you've enjoyed, like over the years, that you like watching?
Oh, as I mentioned earlier, I'm really in love with Conjuring. The Insidious franchise I had hope for, but after the way the first movie ended kind of shut the door on how they could progress things because they had to go backwards, unfortunately.
Sort of, right? But actually, you did know, right? This is I'm only quoting from what Vera, Farmiga, who played Lorraine Warren, she says that Insidious and Conjuring come from the same universe. They're it's two different stories, but they're all interconnected. The whole thing is. So when you talk about Conjuring, you're talking about The Nun, you're talking about Insidious, you're talking about, a lot of movies that have that supernatural feel, that have the dark spirits, everything that's involved. Yeah, they're interconnected. The whole universe is.
I was going to actually talk about Insidious 1, but I did not want to spoil it for PvP if he has not seen it.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the franchise, so yeah.
Yeah, well, The Conjuring obviously has something to do with Ed and Lorraine Warren, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, who, by the way, was great in the Bates Hotel TV series, I gotta say. Playing Norman's mom. Hello. She was fantastic in that. Yeah,
I know nothing about what you're talking about right now, Mikey.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I have no clue what you're talking about now.
Oh, that's okay. But okay, so what really appealed to you most about the whole Conjuring there, Pally? What was the thing that appealed to you the most?
Well, a lot of it was just how they set the scenery in the first film. When they came to that house and they rolled up and did the investigation, and I kind of liked the almost methodical way they just unpacked the past of that house. But the one that really sealed it for me was the second Conjuring film, which teased the Crooked Man and did nothing with him.
I remember that. Yeah.
That angered me so much because remember when they showed him? They showed the person turning him. That was horrifying. I understood that the nun, whatever, was supposed to be the main villain, but this other thing was terrifying. And then I found out, it's going to be due out in a couple of years, and they kept pushing it. I got a little nettled, but going kind of on types of horror, The Nun, I felt was the best film in the Conjureverse because, I mean, a lot of horror has turned into jump scares or gore, but The Nun had that creeping atmospheric tension that was just, chef's kiss. Just the perfect storm.
Yeah. Let me throw this by PvP. PvP, do you remember the original Amityville horror film from the 70s, the one that had Josh Brolin in it, playing Lutz?
That's another one. That's another one I've missed.
You really have missed that one?
I have told you I've got some large holes to fill in my filmography.
Okay.
It's embarrassing.
Well, all right.
It's embarrassing, but I have to be honest, right?
Well, no. It's not embarrassing. A lot of people haven't seen a lot of these.
I know it's based on a real story of a real house and a real family that went through this horror show. So I know that much.
Yes.
But I've never actually watched it, so I don't know anything much more than that at this point. Mm-hmm. So,
reason
1,344 on Gorilla's list, I've got to send that to him too now.
Well, please do. Please make sure you do.
Gorilla's going to unfriend me on Facebook one of these days. You know that, right, Mike?
Let's just hope he doesn't block you.
Actually, though, he's going to have Kayla there with him soon, so she'll probably mellow him out a lot, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, he might add another person that shall not be named to our Walton stream on Friday. I'm not happy
Are
about
you
that at
kidding?
all.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
No, I'm not kidding.
That's effed up, man.
That's what I'm saying. But that, like I said, that's for something we can talk about later. But Palin, what I wanted to mention to you was the Amityville Horror franchise basically is within the confines of the Conjuring franchise because it has that common denominator, Ed and Lorraine Warren. They were one of the first. They were one of the first couples. And remember, Ed Warren was a demonologist, right? So they were the first couple that actually went there because they knew about the previous thing with Ronald DeFeo and what he did to his whole family. Then the Lutzes went in there and moved in there. Remember, they only lived in that house for 28 days, and then they left. That out in the middle of the night, all their stuff, everything that was in there, and just left it behind and went away. And that is, which is a true story. That's, documented already. But as I said, anything that comes out from Amityville Horror is going to be in that Conjuring universe. It's going to exist. That's why Suzanne and I really enjoy like anything that's connected to that. Anything.
So
yeah.
When we say anything, do we include this interesting spin-offs that came from the original Amityville movie?
Well, yeah, we could. Sure. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Including the evil lamp?
Yep. Yep. Yes. We've seen them too. We've seen every incarnation of Amityville Horror. We've seen it was 1976, I want to say. That was that one with Josh Brolin. And then it moved on. And then you had the other one, which I forget the lead that played Lutz in that one. But, the reboot. And yeah, it would include all of that. That's all a part of it.
All right.
Yeah. As I said, because the Warrens were the ones that did. Well, do you remember the Enfield, England? Remember that house, and it was haunted, and the Warrens went overseas, to England, to London area, Enfield, whatever, the house, and that was haunted and had its own, that all came, and somebody said that was a part of the Nun, so that was all interconnected. Everything was put together there. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was cool how that was done. Yeah. And then they gave you a background story about the nun and how she turned demonic and all went nuts and everything. So,
wow, that's
wow. Yeah.
Dynamic.
And Annabelle. If you've seen Annabelle, I don't know if you've seen Annabelle PvP, any of the Annabelle movies, but the Annabelle creation, all of those different films are all a part of it too. So
is that like the female version of Chucky?
Well, Annabelle is based on a Raggedy Ann object, which is completely cursed. It has all sorts of.
So it's a doll.
Yeah. Except it's not alive. Okay.
Well, I haven't seen Chucky or Annabelle because that's not really my thing. I don't really enjoy those kind of movies. They creep. Okay, here's the backstory. When I was still in my crib, when I was like I don't know, a year and a half old or whatever, 2 years old, I was still a toddler, right? Okay. Yeah. I was in a dark room by myself, and there was this creepy doll in the corner of the room. I don't know why my mother wanted to put a creepy doll in the corner of the damn room, but she did, right? And I swear, one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I looked over and the doll was walking towards my crib.
No kidding, right?
That's one of my nightmare memories from my early childhood. You know what, though? That's when I learned to walk because I was so scared. I climbed over the railing of my crib and ran out in the living room where my parents were watching TV.
Because they were freaking out. Yeah.
I was just going, oh.
Let's see, Palin.
Anyway.
Did you or PvP? Did you guys ever see? There's one franchise we forgot to mention was the Paranormal Activity one. Now that is whack. That whole franchise is, yeah. Mm-hmm. Seen them all.
The first one.
I haven't seen that one either. I'm sorry. I must be too old school.
It's okay. You know, we love Dracula, we love Werewolf, we love Frankenstein,
Yeah,
Invisible
the
Man, The
yeah,
Fly. You know, I'm all into that.
yeah, the Universal horror films, you can't go wrong with those.
Hammer films are great. If you ever see the Hammer shit, I mean, like,
Oh, yeah,
woo, yeah,
the
Hammer is great too. Not
the
just Universal, Hammer stuff.
well, the Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee stuff is must watch for sure.
Yeah,
Um, I just
Helen.
want, I just
Oh, I'm
want
sorry.
if I could just interject some stuff that I like that you guys might not have
Yeah,
seen.
go for it. Go for it. BP.
Okay, there's a little 1970 film. There was actually a student film back in 1970 that a bunch of students at film school started called Equinox. Have you guys ever even heard of that?
Sounds familiar.
Anyway,
Equinox. Yeah.
Equinox was just this little student project, doing that film school. And I doubt any of them ever thought it was going to go anywhere. But then a
Mhm.
distributor saw their little student movie, and they were so interested in it, they actually hired a director to shoot additional footage, put some money into it, did a oh God, I can't talk. You know what I'm saying? Distribution deal with the
Yeah.
kids, and
Yeah.
it's actually a very entertaining film. It's not very long. It's only like 82 minutes, right? But it's
Yeah.
really good because it's got a lot of supernatural crap too. Because basically these kids go out in the woods, and then all these supernatural forces start attacking them. And there's even stop motion in the film because you get this ginormous monster in the film attacking them, and it's a very entertaining. It's really good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy as hell, but it's a fun movie. So I
That's
would
yeah.
recommend Equinox from 1970.
Hell, that's good. Yeah. Let's just. There's only a couple here in the chat. Um, just catch up real quick. So, Ancient One says, next thing you know, in some crazy altered timeline, we find out that the cast and crew for The Silence of the Lambs from 1991 film have gone feral as people regard the event as a self-fulfilled prophecy. Wow. Okay. I'm sure that Sir Anthony Hopkins would have fun with that. Be yourself. Larry says, Alan, thank you so much, my brother, for subscribing to his channel. And Larry does say, all right, guys, have a good night. I'm out of here. Take care and always be yourself. Always be yourself there, Larry, as
Hi, Larry.
always.
Good night.
And good night, Larry from Sir Lemon. Okay, we are officially caught up. Okay, so and we got one loyal person watching still, so yay. Okay, so let me. Okay, now PvP. Let me ask you this. I know that you're a big. Are you a pretty good fan of the Night of the Living Dead? Like any
I
of the
was
stuff?
I was actually going to eventually probably bring that one up.
Yeah.
I think Romero was the first guy to actually do a modern day version of zombies, right?
Yeah, George A. Romero.
Yeah,
I meant to say Romero. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
let's face it, all the older films, like from the 30s or 40s or whenever, those zombies were all about like the classic, like on the island. What's the island with the zombies? You know what I'm talking about? Haiti. Haiti.
Yeah.
They were
Haiti.
all about.
The
They were all about.
voodoo.
Yeah, they were
Yes.
involved voodoo zombies. They didn't go around eating people's brains or anything, right?
Well, they
So
didn't demand brains
no, but
that I was aware of.
Romero was actually Romero came. This is what I missed. George
Yeah.
Romero came up with an original concept for that first film.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had ever thought of that before, or done it, or put it on film.
Mm-hmm. Here's what I liked about that. He recruited his own crew to work on it in the area, right? It was Detroit, right? It was Michigan, whatever.
I'm not sure exactly where it seemed like it was.
Was it Michigan there? Yeah, Night of the Living Dead. Yeah, the original. That. Oh, by the way, that African actor is Tony Todd. It's in his first role. That's
no.
Right
Original Light of the Living Day in 1960s was not Tony Todd.
That wasn't Tony Todd?
No,
I thought it was.
No, look it up. It's definitely not Tony Todd.
Not Tony. Okay. Well, then I'll I'll scratch that part.
It's a guy that had, I don't know if he had much of a career, but it wasn't like Tony Todd's. Let's put it that way.
It wasn't Tony. Okay. But anyway, the point I was trying to make was that Romero hired his own crew on a very meager budget, I mean minuscule budget, and he got his own friends to help out. So they're coming for you, Barbara. She's a local lady there that lives in the area, and all the other people that were in it were all friends of Romero, so which I thought was cute. And then they did that for a couple of films. Yeah. No, but Tony Todd did show up eventually in one of those Living Dead films. I think it was 1991,
but he wasn't
I think it was.
Okay, like you know who the African guy was in the first movie? It was Dwayne Jones.
Dwayne Jones, okay.
Dwayne Jones, by the way, excellent in it.
Is he still alive? Is Dwayne alive? Or?
He passed in 1988.
Oh, that's a shame. Yeah.
His filmography is not extensive. He did Night of the Living Dead, 73, Ganja and Hess. I don't know what the hell that. Losing Ground, Beat Street, Vampires, To Die For, Negatives, and Fright House was his last film in 1989. So
I do remember Fright House. Fright House was pretty darn good.
Yeah, he did like 8 movies.
Film, I thought it was good.
Yeah, but he did like 8 movies in 20 years, right? So, you know.
Yeah, well, like that's...
it wasn't like a super film career, but I thought he was excellent in the first movie. Like, he kind of makes the movie, actually, because he is the central character, obviously, because most of the characters around him are either total nut jobs or idiots, right? He's the only guy that's kind of holding it all together with a plan. He's got a plan and a vision of where they need to go to survive. And, I think Night of the Living Dead, well, I think it's one of my favorite zombie films. I know, Romero did all those sequels, and I like some of those too. The ones I've seen are actually pretty entertaining. I think they're good, solid films. But I still think the original is actually the best one, Mikey. Oh, by the way, if you want to talk zombie movies, I just got to add this in quickly. There's a Korean film that came out in 2016 called Train to Busan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Have you guys ever seen that movie?
Does it sound familiar, Palin, to you? I don't know.
I keep hearing about it, but I just haven't seen it. It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I heard it, but I haven't seen it.
Personally, I think it might be the greatest zombie movie I ever watched.
Oh, cool.
It's really good. I mean, I give this an A+ rating. This movie, it is excellent from beginning to end. It starts off with just a father and his daughter getting on a train because they're just going to go see mom, right?
Right.
And it takes off from there because it's the zombie apocalypse. And you know what happens when you have the zombie apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
And it's so frightening. But they're on a train too. Think about, they're confined on a train when the zombies start getting in. It's frightening as hell. It's fabulous. It's entertaining. It's fun. And the special effects, I mean, they did a lot of CGI, but I thought it was real. The first time I watched the film, I thought, how did they get like 100 actors to pour through the wall on top of each other? And then dumb me, I realized, oh, well, no, they couldn't do that with insurance regulations. So it's obviously, but you wouldn't ever guess it was CGI because it was excellently done. And I'm not a fan of CGI. You know me, Mikey. I don't like CGI, but this movie got it right. Excellent film. Fantastic movie from beginning to end. Great story. Great cast. I mean, it's in Korean, so you got to watch with the subs. But with
the subtitles, right.
It's an excellent movie. Okay. Oh shit. Let's see. 1,345 on Gorilla's list of much-watched films. Oh,
just so add that one too. By the way, PvP. Yeah. By the way, Tony Todd did appear in a remake. This was a remake of Night of the Living Dead back in 1990, where he played the character Ben, and it's a remake of the original 1968 horror classic. But it also featured in the cast Patricia Tallman as Barbara. So yes, he did appear in Night of the Living Dead, but just a remake of it in 1990.
Was she the original?
It was a good role for him.
Was she the original Barbara in the '69 film?
She was. Yes, she came back.
Ooh.
Later.
Can you link that in the private? I'd like to watch that.
Well, you know what? I'll link the. I will link the description.
I didn't even know she was still acting by that point in time. Wow.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I'll copy where I got the information. I'll put it in the private chat, and then just go from there. PvP. So
that's basically an exact remake because I know Barbara. Oh, spoiler alert! I know Barbara died in the first movie, right? So
yes. Well, she's back in this, so obviously she came back as a zombie.
Oh man! Oh well, I'd like to take a look at it. Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Actually. Yeah, I just sent you the link to show you.
Cool.
It describes it and has all the information there. So
sounds good to me.
Make sure you check it out. Okay, Ancient One says. Then all of a sudden, we find out the entire development team for the Battletoads NES game have gone feral as they eventually became a terrifyingly feral, twisted parody version of Battletoads themselves. To be honest, Ancient One, I have not. I have never seen the game. I mean, I know of it. I know the Battletoads NES game, but I have never played it. I don't know. I just never got into it. I guess. I kind of know what you're talking about. It's just that it's extremely weird. Anyway, let's see. So let me ask you, Palin, did you get a chance to see any of the Living Dead movies or Ash versus Evil Dead or
definitely I saw the original Ash movies 1, 2, and 3, although I loved 2, and 3 Army of Darkness was my all-time guilty pleasure.
It's a guilty pleasure. It is.
It's not the same feel, but I don't care. I like it that much. One also is very different.
Yeah. Now there are 4, right? After Army of Darkness, Suzanne and I saw this. It's called Evil Dead Rises, and that the spirit, whatever it is, the malevolent spirit that comes from the first 3 films, actually comes back. So it's called Evil Dead Rises. There's actually 4 films in the franchise, and even though Bruce Campbell himself doesn't show up, his voice is actually on that cursed album. So his voice is the one that's on the album. So he actually comes back in that way. But yeah, that's the 4th one. It's called Evil Dead Rises. It's pretty good, actually.
Awesome. Yeah, I know that there was a remake of the first one where they recast Ash. I just didn't realize that there was another 4th after Army of Darkness.
Yeah, there is a 4th one. Though some people will say that it's a standalone film, but I don't think so. I think as long as you had Bruce Campbell, even though he was doing a voiceover on a photograph, on a photograph album or a phonograph. Sorry, I'm trying to say phonograph, not photograph. Mm-hmm. Phonograph album, which is cursed, and it's his voice, and you can tell it's him. That means it has a connection because he's still in it. So
wasn't that the movie that took place in a high rise or something, Mikey?
No. The one that took place in a high rise was Poltergeist 3.
No. But the Evil Dead film.
In a high rise?
Yeah, I thought the last film not too many years ago was in a high rise.
Evil Dead Rises.
Rises, like in a high rise. That's what I heard.
Like the high rise thing. Could be. Well, it was in the city somewhere, so maybe you might be right. That may be the one I'm thinking. The one that we saw. So
because I'm a big fan of the first 3 films, and that's always out. Well, the first 2 were out in the woods, right, in redneck land. And
hello, Matt Arnold. Welcome.
Hey there, Matt.
Good to see you, sir. Yeah, good to see you.
Alrighty. I think the first film is I think the first Evil Dead is actually more pure horror than the other films in the early franchise, because it's basically total horror, right? There's not a lot of humor. It's just scary as hell. Great film though. I love it. Give it high ratings. My favorite is still Evil Dead 2, because I like the way they finally got the balance with the horror and Bruce Campbell's acting skills as a comedian. Because Bruce is goofy as hell in some parts of that movie, right? But he makes it work because he's so damn good at it, right? You remember that scene where he's on the floor after he got knocked out or whatever, and his possessed hand is dragging him across the floor? I mean, like, come on, what kind of acting skills is that? Like, tell me the actor today that could do that, Mikey.
Well, the guy, you remember the Raimis, right? Sam and Ted, and it was actually, I think it was Ted that came up with the idea about the possessed hand, that he had to chop it off so that he could put the buzz saw and
exactly
all
so
that
he could
in the space. I think it was Ted's idea, because remember, Bruce Campbell grew up. He grew up with the Raimis, both Sam and Ted, and which is why, when you see him in the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies,
right,
where he shows up a couple times, that's because of their friendship. So when Bruce did the Evil Dead series, and it was Ted who said, "Hey, you know what? We need to have you have a physical, not your real hand or arm or whatever. We need you to have like some kind of attachment." Do you guys remember Grindhouse when I think it was Michelle. I want to say it was Michelle Rodriguez, but she had like this machine gun that was attached to her leg. Like it got bit off by the zombies, and she had like this, machine gun leg or whatever she would start to shoot people with. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That wasn't Michelle. That was Rose McGowan, my friend Rose McGowan. Yeah, that was Rose. So anyway, like in that, but she had like the machine gun attached, on a sling. She had no leg because it was already bitten off and infected, so she had to get that cut off. And then she put on like a leg, AK-47 and whatever thing there in Grindhouse. That was really good.
So
but getting back. Right.
That's a tribute to Ash, then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, really was good. Rose did a great job in that. But and that's with Robert Rodriguez, who does all the Troublemaker Studios and all that stuff. Fantastic stuff with Quentin Tarantino, his best friend. But anyway, getting back to Evil Dead, so Ted and Bruce concocted this idea that if you had to cut off his hand and arm completely, his whole limb. They came up with the idea that they could attach. They were the first to come up with this, by the way. So they came up with the idea they could attach anything, right? Because remember, he worked in housewares. He worked in the store, right? He knew about materials, hammers, things like that.
Shop smart, shop S smart.
Exactly. Palin knows what I'm talking about. So anyway, so he came up with this idea that he could make attachments, and that's what he did. He, buzzsaw and a gun, big rifle.
He did chainsaw. He did chainsaw the evil hand off at the wrist, though. And
yeah,
that's
he did.
Where he attached it.
That's how he was going to do it.
I tell you, I thought a shotgun and a chainsaw. Talk about. I mean, let's face it. Ash started out as a regular human and became a superhero in these movies, right?
Oh, for sure.
Basically.
Well, he definitely did an Army of Darkness.
Well, I guess Army of Darkness is a little more controversial because some people think it strays too far from the first two films. I love it, by the way. By the way, that's my introduction to Army of Darkness because I'd never heard of it. And one night I put the movie channel on, and Army of Darkness was like halfway through the movie. I had no idea. I didn't know what I was watching, but I see all these skeletons marching along, and I'm a big Ray Harryhausen guy, right? Like,
you gotta love Harryhausen's miniature effects and everything. Before.
I worship his stop motion. Still the most talented man that ever did stop motion animation.
Yes,
but I was watching Army of Darkness, like, damn, this is really well done. Like, this is really good, right? This is I know it's a tribute to Harryhausen, what they did with that movie.
It definitely is. It definitely is. The Raimis grew up. Actually, the Raimis did grow up watching Harryhausen films. You know, Sinbad, all of those things where he had all that stop motion. Yeah,
I think anybody over like 50 probably worships at the altar of Harryhausen.
For sure.
You know.
Just quickly, Ancient One says hello to Matt Arnold. Matt says hello there to Ancient One. Ancient One, I'm really glad, and everybody else, I'm really glad that you came here tonight. It means the world to me. It really does. Especially you, Palin, and PvP for joining me. Really means a lot. Honestly, it does. I don't get a chance to plan these very often, so it's wonderful when you guys can come up here and contribute. Lemon says hello, Matt. How are you? And FKHC, hey Tim, welcome. Yeah, I saw you earlier. Hey kids, the word for today is booger. Okay. Well, Tim, I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Matt says, hey, it's lemon pie. Okay. I believe we're caught up right now. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. We've only got I'll give us another about 10 minutes or so. So I want to go ahead and I'll start with Palin PvP and I'll come right to you. Because I've already said what I said on mine. But Palin, from what you've seen in horror, honestly, let's just ask you, what's your favorite horror film you've ever seen? Like, if you got a chance to see it again, you would go see it again.
I want to say The Nun just because of how they just constructed everything perfectly, but at the same time, it's hard because Hausu exists, or house as it's called in Japanese, but it's horror, but it's not. It's until you see a PvP, it's its own thing. So without any further ado, I'm just going to say The Nun. It's because of everything is done.
Palin, is there any way you could post a link in the private so I might be able to take a little look at that?
The Wikipedia.
Even if you want to send like a clip, one of those advertising clips or something to give me an idea.
Palin, if you want to send him a Wikipedia description of The Nun.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, Wikipedia. I know people
do that, Palin. That'd be good.
People love to crap all over Wiki, but I know when it's politics, I don't trust it. When it's entertainment and movies, it's pretty good generally, right? Pretty good generally.
That's very good. Let's see. So Matt says hello to Lemon, and Tim says, "Is The Waltons a horror film?" You asked Gorilla about Friday. I don't know. Okay, all I remember is when I saw it, I was 10 years old, and it came out. What was it in 75 PvP, or did that episode come out 1 year later?
It could be 70. It could be 76. I can't remember. It's too long.
Okay, well, it's around that time. I know it was like 9, 10, or 11.
Well, it's probably halfway through the series, right? So it would be somewhere in the mid-70s. Yeah.
Right. So all I want to say about that is because they talked about mustachioed man. We call him Uncle Adolf, but back then my parents. Well, you got to understand. Like I said, my mom's original biological father came from Germany. He used to be in the Merchant Marine. He escaped for some of the same reasons that most of the Jews did, because the man was a maniacal dictator and he was just going after everybody. And that's one of the reasons that my mom, thankfully, my mom's, original dad got out of there because of all that stuff and all the principles and things that were being prophesized. So, I mean, that is one reason that when we watched it for the first time, and I know we did, because we watched it on TV when it first came out. And when they were talking about this, my dad almost turned off the TV. He said, really, is Walton's doing this? Because if they're starting to talk about this and John Boy's endorsing it, we almost just turned off the whole series completely. That's what it amounted to. That's how controversial it was, how bitter people still felt even after it was 30 years after the fact, or 31 years after the fact.
It would have been around that. Yeah. Well, don't you remember when they did season 2 Star Trek Patterns of Force?
Yeah, Patterns of Force.
I mean, that was like in 1967, 68, something like that.
Was it 67? I know I'll come across it. Yeah,
it was
I will.
towards probably the latter half of season 2, so it might have been 68 by then. I'm not sure.
Still, that was very controversial, right?
Well,
and
it was
that was because it was like more than 20 years after the fact.
Well,
right?
it was more than like a little bit of John Boy talking about my life or whatever, my whatever it is. I can't remember.
Would that be something we want to show Sif, Dan? Would that be something we want to show him?
Yeah, I think it's important to educate younger. Hey,
we need to educate them. You're right.
Those that fail to live from the past are doomed to repeat it.
Are doomed to repeat it. Right. History repeats itself.
Yeah.
You do believe that, right, Palin?
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to say though, I believe the Patterns of Force Star Trek episode was banned in Germany up until sometime in the 1990s.
Yes, it was.
They wouldn't allow it to be shown on TV because it was too sensitive.
And that's what that what kind of scares me, because I would like to show that. And by the way, Palin, you're more than welcome to come join us on Saturday afternoons when we do these TOS watch parties. Where we do certain episodes which really appeal to all of us, but can be controversial and whatever, because we're trying to convert Sci-Fi Sif Dan from being not just a warzy, but trying to get him to be more of a Trekker or a Trekkie. We want him to also embrace the Star Trek franchise. And I think that's one way we can do it, is give him the best episodes that came from the original series and be able to, and understand. I mean, because it has... today, if you watch it, it still has the same, if even more so, cultural significance because of how it impacted so many people. And I mean, and watching them, I mean, that episode would have killed the series itself too, if it wasn't for some people who, and I would say B. Joe Trimble is huge in that regard, because she was able to come forward and say, no, we're not talking about such and such, because this is just something that it's exactly what PvP said. People are doomed to repeat history, and history repeats itself. And that's absolutely true. So we have to be aware of people nowadays that are running countries that maybe have no right to do it, because we don't know their ulterior motives, their hidden agenda. We don't know. We only almost found out too late with Uncle Adolf. So,
I try and say, I know on your channels, I don't like to get into politics at all, but I've been watching some videos in the last few days, and it really saddens me what's going on in Western democracies right now, because they're moving away from democracy, it seems to me.
Right. And, sorry, Tim. You also said this week's episode of The Waltons is going to be interesting with how you all word it. Amen to that. Yes, I agree. It's and again, Palin, you're more than welcome to come and watch us on Friday night at Gorilla's Random Thoughts. Yeah, it's going to be very controversial. I think it is.
Okay, I'm disappointed in his comment. I thought he would say, in this week's episode, Grandma and Grandpa put armbands on their arms and do the salute.
No. We don't want to go there.
But he does go there.
But
he has gone there sometimes, right? With Grandma and Grandpa.
Okay, so let's go ahead and finish this up. So Palin said,
okay,
your best was The Nun, right? That was yours.
Yep, and I just sent a link for the trailer to that. I'm going to send a wiki for that other Japanese movie because it's extremely gory. I don't want to show the trailer for that.
No, yeah, but you can send it in the private chat if you want. To send it to PvP, because I know he likes to take a look at all that stuff. But okay, PvP, let's go quickly here. But what is to you your ultimate favorite horror film? I know you're not that immersed into horror, but if you had to pick one, what would be yours?
It's not easy, because there's probably 10, 15, 20, 30 I could think of. Like I mentioned, Train to Busan with the zombies in Korea.
Yeah.
Seriously, we got a corner gorilla and put an arm lock around his neck and say, "Watch party, Watch party. Because it is an incredibly intense, awesome, entertaining horror film. It's so good. Anyway, but that said, I'm going to pick a really obscure one that I really actually love. That no, you guys have never heard of this film. I'm going to bet $1. It's a film. It's a film from 1960 called Peeping Tom, directed by Michael Powell, who is a British director that did a lot of classic cinema over in Britain in the 40s, 50s, 60s. And I bet you guys have never heard of this film, have you?
Peeping Tom? No. I don't think I have. No.
Okay. Here, I'll set it up for you. I'm going to actually put the link to Wiki in the private because you guys need to read up on this. I think it's a very significant film. It came out the same year in 1960 as Hitchcock's Psycho, right? And it's very similar in some of its themes about a madman killing ladies, right? So it's very similar in its themes, but the direction style and the story, it just goes a totally different way. Whereas Hitchcock kind of goes more direct because he's Hitchcock. And by the time, remember, Psycho was huge because Hitchcock was famous, right? Michael Powell was famous with us film aficionados and very well known in England and very highly respected because he had another partner producing a lot of the films. I won't mention his name right now because we can go into that at a later date. But anyway, Peeping Tom, basically, it was about a serial killer killing ladies. And the thing is, I like about it's a psychological horror film. Because it's all about this very extremely disturbed man that works at a film studio doing legitimate filmography during the day, but he has this camera on a tripod when he goes out to do his deeds in the evening, and one of the tripod legs when he pulls it off has a spear at the end of it. And he films the deaths of the ladies as he's killing them.
Yeah. Now you do realize, PvP, and thank you for posting the link in the private chat. You do realize you were only 2 years old when it first came out.
Well, I didn't see it until probably the 80s sometime.
Oh, okay. So when it was like late night horror,
I probably saw it I probably saw it maybe on a movie channel in the 80s. Is what I'm guessing. I don't remember. But
it had to have been Movie Channel because
probably
Movie Channel was known for the cable channel was called the Movie Channel, right?
It might have been Turner Classic because Turner Classics.
Okay.
They were not afraid of showing controversial films back in their heyday, right?
That's true.
I love
Calvin, are you old enough to say you watched any of those Turner Classic movies or anything that came out TCM?
I watched a few, not very many.
Okay. Yeah. Any big horror things that stood out to you when you saw them? Anything?
The Turner era?
The Turner era. Yeah.
I'm scratching my head. Everything at that point, when Turner would come on, it would be like an hour before I'd go to bed. So my brain was coding.
I'd seen, like I said, the ones that we talked about earlier, the Universal films, with Dracula, all that stuff. I'd seen that stuff. The Fly, even the original Fly. Not talking about the one with Jeff Goldblum. I'm talking the original black and white Fly movie.
You're talking about the movie that goes, "Help me,
help me, help me."
And that's the one.
And the multiple eyes. You know how they did that?
Oh,
they did that in one take. They did that in one take.
Really?
The multiple, yes. You know where he's looking through the bug eye and whatever, and the whole that thing. That was early special effects done in one take. How they were able to encircle it and do that. That is what's so great about that original Fly. I'm not saying the Goldblum thing wasn't bad. It wasn't pretty good. I mean,
I actually like. That's what's his face, the Canadian director.
In the black and white one we're talking about. Yeah, the fly.
No, but the Goldblum one, that was the Canadian guy that did a lot of body horror stuff, right?
Something like that. Yeah. That wasn't bad.
Yeah. I enjoyed it for what it was. I still kind of enjoy the original.
Oh,
sure.
sure.
That had David Hedison in the title role from A Voice Beyond the Sea, right?
David Hedison, you're right. The guy who played Felix Leiter for 2 Bond films.
Yeah, David Hedison was a damn fine actor, I gotta say.
Oh, and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Oh man.
Well,
we did such good stuff. I'm telling you.
You know the thing with Irwin Allen TV shows, though, Mikey. Generally, the first year is awesome. Like the first year, Lost in Space was serious science fiction. First year, A Voyage was like Cold War. A certain Asian country trying to blow our submarine up. I won't say who they are, but you know who I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yes.
But then when you got to the later seasons, they went kind of silly, right? With weird monsters and.
I know, in some lost secret portal and I just seen one of those, so I was like,
when we were doing season 2 of Lost in Space on Pop's channel, I was really hoping we'd get to season 3 because season 3 is actually really
the vegetable. What was the one that Pop? I don't know if you've seen this yourself, Palin, but going a little sci-fi for a minute. But in season 3 of Lost in Space, they have this weird ass thing called the Vegetable Revolution, and all these people are dressed up in like a carrot and all these other things.
No, it's the Great Vegetable Rebellion, and there's
the
only
Great
one
Vegetable Rebellion. You got it. Yeah.
And there's only one carrot man, and by the way, that's the second last episode. And I can understand why.
I totally can understand.
Because it got canceled after that.
Okay, well, guys, let's go ahead and finish up. Let's finish up these 2, and then we'll acknowledge everyone. We'll head out the door here. Okay, so Tim says this week's episode of the Waltons Grandma and Grandpa play Ilsa She-Wolf of the.
Oh no!
Can I say that word? Multiple S's.
Probably nobody's gonna know what that means anyway. These days.
Most people don't. Yes, TCM was great.
I would say she was the she-wolf of the salt shaker is what I would guess, right?
Oh yeah, I would definitely say.
Man.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and thank everybody that came into the chat. First of all, I do want to thank PvP, my brother from British Columbia. Thank you so much for helping me out here.
You're very welcome, Mikey.
You're always appreciated, my brother. And you too, Palin. I knew Palin through Charlotte Nightstar the Werewolf, and Palin is a great friend. He's also a brother to me. So, Palin, I want to thank you so much, my buddy, for coming up here and helping us out tonight. Really much appreciated.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, I hope we can do more of these again, guys. I hope we can.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun, and I hope we can get Larry and James, or Larry and Jay up here too, because they're big movie guys like that. I know Larry loves that stuff.
I'm sure if they were feeling up to the weather, they would have been here tonight, but they're feeling under the weather. So
yeah, and I had a feeling Gorilla was asleep, but because I know he just did Germs thing, so he's probably out on his butt. But I did send him a message, and I sent a message to Charlotte too. But I guess she was a little tired, so that's okay. It's no worries. But let's thank Lemon Pie for being here. He's a great master moderator, takes care of our channel, as well as Miss Connie Cleary, the bird woman of YouTube. So make sure you acknowledge them, say hello to them. It'd be very nice. Charlotte Nightstar the Werewolf, yo, 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 she said. Charlotte is great. She does every 2 weeks, she does some podcasts. She does some interviews. This past weekend, she did a great one with Glenn Lawrence Presents, something I had been waiting to see for a very long time. So, and then I got to actually be a co-host to her live stream open panel, which was on Sunday. So that was nice. That was nice for her to allow me to do that. Also, to Palin again, thank you, Palin, for being here, my friend. And make sure you check out his channel. You know what? While I can do that, hold on there, Palin. Just a sec. Okay, Palin, do you have anything coming up, my friend? Anything that's coming up in the next couple weeks or so on your channel?
Eventually, but we're talking like maybe a month or two down the line. So stay tuned.
All right, stay tuned. No, that sounds good because we got something here. Like I said, as soon as I'm done doing my, Mondays and Tuesdays, 4 shows that I do for pop culture, I'm going into mysteries, and that's when I would love to have you guys join me as for those mysteries because they will be live streams. I'm not going to make them webcams; they're going to be live streams.
Okay.
So
I have a question, Mikey. When you start doing the mystery stuff, do I have to dress up in the Sasquatch suit?
No.
Okay, thank you. I'm
you don't have to disguise yourself.
I'm relieved.
Unless you have a camera access and you want to show yourself in a Sasquatch outfit, I don't mind. It would work.
If I was wealthy enough to buy a camera and a Sasquatch suit, I'd be tempted to do it actually, but no.
Okay.
I don't have a camera.
And PvP, while we have you also, thanking you for being here. Is there any new music that you've added to your playlist recently?
I did put some stuff up in the last week and a half or so. I think I added the Cult's Electric album, their second album.
Oh yeah,
which I think it's by far their best album because basically Electric kicks ass from beginning to end. It's all pretty much hard rock. Because actually, and the thing is, I never realized when I was reading up before I posted the information about it that they actually got Rick Rubin to do the producing on that album.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, actually, I think it's the third album. I must correct myself.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But by the way, did you find out that Roy, that guy that was the lead guitarist for Iron Maiden, died? He was 69. We lost another one.
They're dropping like flies these days, aren't they, Mikey?
I'm telling you, I was shocked. I mean, even Suzanne knew who he was. Like, Iron Maiden. I was like, wow, yeah.
Yeah, I was never a big Iron Maiden guy, but I did appreciate their hits.
Yeah, we did. We were at the same time. Anyway,
Anyway, I discovered Electric back in the late '80s when it came out when I was at arts college. And I'll never forget one day during the lunch break, my friend and I drove down to the local lake and parked on the beach and put Electric in the this is old amp. We put it in the cassette deck player, and we listened to the whole album for like 45 minutes while we were smoking some certain herbal products, and we had an awesome
I love how you said that.
Well, the thing is. He was more of a jazz guy, right? And he never really listened to a lot of rock and roll. And I was like, it's like how we're turning Dan into a Trekkie. I was turning him into a rocker. And we listened to that, and he's like, this is fucking amazing. This is fantastic. So we had a great time. And I think we had a couple beers probably too. And then we drove back to art school and tried to study for the rest of the afternoon.
Anyway, just getting back to thanking everyone. So here is that attachment to StreamYard. Again, if you are new to streaming or if you would like to level up on your plans there for StreamYard, check it out. You get a $10 discount, and the person who recommends it to you, they do actually get to save $25 off their bill. So, it's a win-win for you if you're the one that recommends it, and they take that money as a discount. So it's really good. Jeff B, thank you so much for coming here, sir. He has pretty good content. Great representative of our channels. Make sure you check him out. Daniel's Hot Topics are what I like to call the savant of sci-fi and other matters. Make sure you check him out. He doesn't have a lot of content there, but he does like to help us out on our other channels, including Gorilla, myself, PvP, and Jim's Landscape, and everybody else there. So and Sci-Fi Sit Down. So check him out. Daniel's got a good channel there. Also, my best friend, who I've known for over 50 years, Larry of Be Yourself Adventures. He goes everywhere. He travels all around Arizona. He's been to California. He's been to New Mexico. He's been to Nevada. He's worked a lot in both the film industry as well as the music industry, and he knows a lot of good people, and he has great stories. So, and he also does a lot of great live streams. So make sure, and he is going through hard times right now, so make sure you keep doing some prayers for him and the rest of his family. But please check out Larry's channel there. And also, here is his channel itself. There is the link. Make sure you folks get a chance to subscribe. Remember, subscribe, share. Don't forget to hit the like for today. And please don't forget to hit all notifications when you do subscribe. And there's Daniel. And I want to thank Jay Aldridge. He's our brother who lives in Louisiana. He has a wonderful partner named Renee. And of course, now Jay is also going through some difficulties medically. So please, let's also say some prayers towards him and his partner. All right.
Yeah.
And there is Larry. And Ancient One. Ancient One is a great, a wonderful subscriber to all of our channels. He loves to talk about feral things, not only here, but also on Gorilla's Random Thoughts and some of our other channels. So we always appreciate. And you know what I do for you, Ancient One? I acknowledge you by every time that I do my, webcam streams on Mondays and Tuesdays. Whenever I get more than 10 people, I type it in there in the comments where I say hashtag 10 like hype. Yeah. So, and I get a lot of that lately. So thank you so much. And then Matt Arnold. Thank you, Matt Arnold, for being here. I do appreciate you being here, buddy. And of course, we also want to acknowledge Tim, FKHC 2005, for being here as well. Thank you so much, Tim. You guys are wonderful. You guys and gals are amazing. You're always here for us, and we really do appreciate that. And let's see. Yeah, so lastly here, hashtag 2 hour mark. Yes, sir, I know. 2 hours and 21 minutes. Not that I'm counting. Sir Lemon says, thanks for the stream, Mikey. Okay, so what I'm going to do, slightly different. I'm just going to go ahead and still do the prayer, but then we'll go ahead and head out the door. So in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, dear Lord, thank you for having all of us here today. Please watch over every one of my friends here, not only those that we have on the panel, but also everyone we knew in the chat today. There was about 14, 15 people that appeared tonight. Being for last minute, that's pretty darn good, I say, in my book. So, and I want to thank you, Lord, for, of course, the love of my life, Suzanne, who, if I didn't have her in my life, I would not be here. So I always thank her every day for saving my life and for taking me to a better place. And I can now celebrate the rest of my life with her and our beautiful cats, Moonpie and Deja Vu. So pray for everybody that's in our hearts, Lord. Pray for my wife, who's going through her own problems as well. And take care, Lord, of everything. We know your son, Jesus Christ, is great. We know his mother, Most Blessed Virgin Mary, is awesome. We know the Holy Spirit is wonderful in the way of guiding us from right and wrong. And of course, our patron saints, for my wife, it's Saint Suzanne, and for myself, it's there she is. And for myself, of course, I was named after Saint Michael, the Archangel, Defender of Heaven, and who sent the evil one and his minions down to hell. So for all that, thank you, everyone. And please listen to our prayers, Lord. Amen and amen. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. There we go. Okay, so as for me, amen. Oh, thank you so much, Lemon. Lemon, that is most appreciated when you do that. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's see. One last thing here. Okay, as for me, so really nothing planned this week. As I said, Thursday, I'll probably try to be there for Gorilla Random Thoughts for his Twilight Zone stream on Thursday night. I will definitely try to be there for his stream on Friday for that controversial episode with the Waltons, the Firestorm. There's nothing going on with Charlotte's or Sifdan's channels this coming weekend. So that's, kind of the reason, because, like I said, I did this tonight, and I'm glad I did, because I had something planned originally for Friday, but because we're going to be watching 2 movies over the next 2 days, and we do have a little extra money to be able to do that, so I'm very happy about that. That's why we're doing it tonight. So that's why we're here. But as you know, next week we do have our 2 episodes of Red Dwarf and of course the original Star Trek series, and we're on season 1 of oh no, I'm sorry, we're on season 2 now of both Get Smart, which is on Tuesday, and season 2 of TOS, which is on Monday. And then we're on season 12 of Red Dwarf. That's coming up. And then on Tuesday, the A-Team, we are on season 4. So we are almost there to season 5. There are 3 different episodes which cover that whole trial where they finally got caught by General Stockwell, played by Robert Vaughn. And I want to have PvP there with me. Palin, if you're interested, you can come by as well. I want to have Jay Aldrich to come by. We're going to talk about those 3 episodes. It's going to be a special live stream. And anybody who's ever watched those A-Team 3 episodes from season 5 at the beginning, I would encourage you to come by and be here for us. We're going to cover all 3 in the one day. So that's coming up. And then we do have mystery shows that we'll be talking about later on in the fall. So like you, Palin, it's going to be like a month or so before we get a chance to work on those. So
yeah, I never watched much of that, so I don't know, Mikey. Like, I never watched those episodes. I love Robert Vaughn from Uncle, but I'm not familiar with him on A-Team.
Well, speaking of Robert Vaughn, I just recently rewatched the 15-Year Affair that brought back him and David McCallum as Kiriakin. That was good.
It also brought back a bunch of spies like James Bond too, right?
Lazenby.
Yeah, was that not?
Oh my God, that was so cool, man.
I'll never forget when I watched that on TV. I was like, "You got to be kidding!" They got my favorite James Bond from Majesty's Secret Service, right?
And Her Majesty's Secret Service.
My favorite Bond movie.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Lockdown. And he says, my mom passed away last Saturday. Lots of crap. I hate the world right now, Mikey. I am so sorry, Lockdown. And please, just know that among all of us here and everybody in the chat, we got the prayers for you, buddy. I am so sorry to hear that news. I really am. I'm really disappointed and sad. Thank you, Lockdown, and yes, prayers to all the family there. Thank you, honey.
Try not to sink too deep into depression though, because my cousin just lost his wife a month ago, and I went to the memorial service a few weeks ago. I'm still processing that. So don't hate the world. Don't hate the world.
Yeah, don't do that. No, you still have a lot to live for, Locke. You do.
Well, stay I know I sound like an asshole, but I said try to stay positive because it's not the world, it's the fact of nature and life. We all go through it. We all have people that pass away. We pass away. It's just a natural occurrence in life. So try not to be too bitter. I mean, I know it's hard. I know you're hurting, but I'm just trying to, give you some encouragement is what I'm trying to do, I guess. Okay, I'll shut up now.
Well, no, you're fine, PvP. I appreciate you doing that. Lockdown and says, I love you all here. We love you too, buddy. We really do. And of course, Lemon Pie is extending his condolences to you and your family. And Block says prayers to Gorillas as well. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
As well.
And yes, thank you. Locke says, I'm being blamed for family not seeing her. Okay, there's no blame to be had. There's no blame to be spread. You do not need to worry about any of that, Lockdown. And you need to, if you need to heal. Do what needs to be done. But just know that we are all here for you in this community. Remember, we're a family. We're more than just subscribers. We love you guys. Brothers and sisters all. You're all members of our extended family. We care so much about what happens to you guys in your lives. So, Locke, just know we're all there for you. And if you do need time to heal, don't hate the world. Just, ask for guidance from the Lord. Can't hurt. I mean, a few prayers actually are very powerful, and they can't hurt you. So, pray for yourself and your family that they can heal better and get over the pain. It does take a while for every person. It's different. Yeah.
I would just say don't let other people guilt you out in your family about that. When my sister passed away 20 odd years ago, there were a couple individuals in my family that tried to guilt the hell out of me because I didn't see her the last a week or two. And you know why I didn't see her? It's because I had my own business then, and I had contracts to fill, and I had to work every day to fill those contracts, right? And this is like middle of November. I had to deliver those before Christmas. So of course I couldn't go and see my sister every day. So don't let them guilt you out. Don't let them guilt you out, man.
Right. And there we go. So Locke says I was there after the ambulance call, and family could have came and was a child. It was a child uses to not see her, but her granddaughter can see her not moving in the medical bed. Oh wow. I don't know what to say, Lockdown. And honestly, you know, we've had, well, you know, yeah, and they could have. No one can blame you for not being there, right? But able to. Yeah, as you know, PvP just lost one of his relatives he'd known for a very long time, an in-law, sister-in-law. We almost lost Larry. You know, my best friend. He had a surgery. I love you too, baby. He had a surgery, and and then of course he had to go back in because he had some complications. He almost died. Okay, he literally just almost died. So I would have lost my friend to 50 years. That would have been it. He would have been gone. So thankfully, like I said, through the power of prayer and the support and the love that we all have for my brother, as well as everybody in the community here and the family that does online, he got through it. He was able to get through, and he's doing all right now. He's resting. Okay. I told his wife Diane to chain him if she has to. Chain him to the bed so he'll rest.
Okay, is she going to provide the video of that? I want to see that video.
I want to see that myself. Wouldn't you, Palin? Wouldn't you want to see that horror show?
Oh Lord,
it would be interesting.
I know, right?
Oh,
Just the time to the bed.
You know, the one comment I want to make on what you just said there, Mikey, I agree 100%. It's like, I think prayer and love is better than any alternative, right?
I definitely think so. And you're right, Lockdown, and it's blessed to be us all, and may we look to what we can change and not what we cannot. Right. It's like that phrase where it says, God bless me for the things I cannot change, but I can't remember the whole rest of it right now because my brain's just like.
I know the sentiment you guys are thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so so before we go, Palin, do you have anything else you'd like to share, or anything you want to say? Any last words?
Nothing else that comes to mind. Well, I guess in light of our last comment from Locke, one piece of advice I would share, just when my grandfather passed, one thing I learned, and I think would be helpful to just share, is when something like this happens, you will feel things. And what I did, and I would advise others not to do, is to fight processing it. You're going to feel things.
Yeah.
At the same time, you don't want to become overwhelmed by it. So life will keep happening, but you're going to feel things, and don't fight it.
Yeah. Yeah, because men are allowed to cry. Okay? I don't know what the perception is that men aren't allowed to be emotional and feel emotions like this, especially with huge losses. And that's my piece of advice to you, Lockdown. And if you want to cry, then damn it, cry. Please do. Do not hold back, because
I think real men are not afraid to cry. I think it's the wimps that are afraid to cry.
Right.
Real men cry.
Yeah.
By the way, Locke, I want to say, I lost my grandparents decades ago. I lost my last mom 8 years ago. I have no parents or grandparents now either. But in the last 8 years, I have gotten through it. I've worked through it. I was depressed for a couple of years when my mom died. It takes a while. What are the 5 stages of grief, I think is what they call them, Mikey.
That's 5 stages. Yes.
And I only got through it because my cousin and his wife were so great, and they supported me for like a year, helping me out. because I wasn't working, and I had rent to pay, and they helped me out that way too. It was a shitty, tough couple of years, I'll tell you. It was bad, but I got through it. I worked through it, and it. Okay, this will sound stupid now, I know, Locke, but it will get better as the years go on. It will get better.
It will definitely get better.
You'll get through it, man. You'll get through it.
Yeah, I know. He says he has no parents or grandparents now. A lot of us are through that situation with grandparents, aunts, and uncles. I I really don't have very many left. I barely have any left. I'm thankful that my parents, okay, because Suzanne does not have parents. Larry lost his mom, so like
Right.
he has no parents
Yeah.
to speak of. And Larry and Suzanne, my friend James, my friend Frank, Patrick, because Patrick just lost his pops. He has no parents left; they're gone. So I
Yeah.
mean, you know, but all of the people I just mentioned are attached to my parents. My parents immediately adopted them as soon as they found out.
Cool.
Immediately. So yeah, I mean, if you want to have a parent, you can't go wrong with my parents. I mean, my parents are the most loving people you'll have on the face of the earth. So if you want to use them as a template, I would definitely say, well, that you couldn't go wrong with that. Okay, definitely. But I just want to finish because we got to get going now. Okay, so Locke says I won't cry, but if it comes out, it'll be a sudden cry of tears coming down my eyes without me knowing, and that can happen, my friend. It definitely can. Um, let's see. Where did I leave off? Okay. I take solace knowing I said I loved her and she loved me. And that's the best part, right? And I'm thankful that she changed my diapers. Okay. Well, that's good. And he says, I cleaned her porta potties and I marked it on a smell or I clean fresh. Okay. Well, that's not bad. No, that's good. That's good that you have those funny, if not uh unusual memories. It's always good to have that. Okay, so all I want to say lastly is don't forget these fine words. Don't forget that you always be yourself from Larry. Leave everything in God's hands from Suzanne. Don't forget that famous guy, Gene Siskel, who I did get special permission from the family to say, and now the aisle's closed. So thank you, Gene Siskel of the formerly Chicago Tribune. And lastly, I do want to say God bless America, God bless Canada, God bless England, God bless our friend Travel with Lisa MH, who hopefully she's coming in September to visit again. We look forward to your visit again, Lisa, and hopefully we can bring Larry and Diane up here so that we can all get together and we can bring my, Suzanne's longtime friend Scott to come with us as well. So that should be fun if we can do that. And finally, God bless the rest of this world. We only have one, so make sure that all of you take care of it. Don't piss off Mother Nature, is all I am saying. And last but not least, Lack saying, carrying her to the potty and her not being able to hold it and saying sorry and me knowing this is life and I need to come through it for her. Yes, but you already are, sir, because you've got those memories. Those are fond memories for you, and you keep those memories. That'll keep you from crying and being despondent. And you love your loved ones. Absolutely, my friend. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Lack Dannon, and everybody that came tonight. Thank you, Palin. Thank you, PvP. We'll see you guys and gals next time here on Mikey Seuss 4. Hopefully, the next live stream we do, before we get to the mystery shows, is 300 wonderful family members. If we can get 300 family members to get together to represent the channel, and no matter what that's worth more money in the world. Absolutely. Yeah, love is worth more than money. Definitely is. But anyway, as I said, if we can get our 300, if we can reach our 300 by the end of summer, I will definitely do a live stream, and hopefully I can do an open panel, because I think by now everybody in our family is Renchied. Renchi. So Anyway, take care, everyone. We'll see you next time. So say goodbye, everybody.
Oh, we're going to talk backstage, right? Because you had some things.
Yeah, we will. I had something to mention to you before. Yeah,
sounds good.
Will.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Night.
Bye, chat.
Bye. Good night, guys.